You took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Athletes know how important it is to stay hydrated. But did you know there are other ways to hydrate besides just drinking water? In fact, milk is a great hydration option because it actually contains water as well as electrolytes that are lost when your body sweats. So consider taking milk along with you to your next game or competition and enjoy the taste of greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
A hit in the morning, another big more before bed. It sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
You train, you sweat, you practice, you go for the gold, you give 110%, but most of all, you aim for greatness. And milk is the performance enhancer that can help get you to your goal. Trusted by athletes and backed by science, there's a healthy helping of greatness in every refreshing glass of milk. So let nature's original sports drink help quench your thirst for greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Good evening and welcome into this IdahoSports.com Game Streams production of the 2021 Idaho State Football Tournament. Tournament coverage presented by the Idaho Division of Public Health, your local Toyota dealer, Valley-wide co-op and country stores, and Project Filter. Stop smoking, start living. We are living well. Brandon Bainey alongside
Tim Belknap.
Oh my gosh. Tim,
we're starting the game strong.
Tim, I'm sorry. It has been a long day.
Oh, absolutely. I'm with you.
You and I have both done a game already today. I was in the car for an hour. Brandon and Tim, we are coming to you live from Holt Arena.
And we're having fun. I don't know if you are, but we are.
That's right. We are coming to you live from Holt Arena in Pocatello for this Class 4A opening round contest. A little Thursday night action as the Lakeland Hawks, the runner-up from District 1 and 2 up north, take on the Skyline Grizzlies, the runner-up from District 6 in the High Country Conference. Lakeland is the number 11 seed overall. Skyline comes in as the number 6 seed overall. Tim, both of these teams check in with 5 and 4 overall records. I'd venture to say that Skyline's 5 and 4 is a little different than Lakeland's 5 and 4.
Well, you know, when you have a conference such as the one that 6th district that Skyline has played in. They had, with the last game of the season going into it, there was literally 4 different teams that could have qualified as the conference championship, depending on who won. And, of course, Blackfoot made the advantage there as they pulled off their win over Bonneville. And since Blackfoot had beat Skyline in an earlier game that I called this year by just 2 points, frankly, they got the nod, and then Skyline had to drop into second place. But Skyline, I always say they're the best 5-4 team I've seen in the state.
Well, and the Max Preps rankings bore that out because the top 5 seeds go to the 5 district champs automatically, and then they seed the rest 6 through 16. Based on your Max Preps rankings, Skyline got the number 6 seed, which indicates that Max Preps certainly thought that they were good as well. They're the defending 4A state champs, but it hasn't been a smooth ride for Skyline.
Not in the least.
A lot of inconsistency, ups and downs, and for the Grizzlies, they're hoping that by having home field advantage for this first game tonight, that can springboard them maybe on another prolonged run. What about this Lakeland team? They come in 5-4. They've had a really solid defense when you look at it. On the season, they're only allowing 14 points per game, but they've been in a couple of lopsided scores, particularly a 41-14 loss to Post Falls and a 37-10 loss to Sandpoint last week that decided the title up.
Yeah, again, another one that came down to that last game. Lakeland, the challenge here is that they've had to travel so far. I mean, that's, a 10-hour drive on a bus.
Yes.
About 10 hours longer than I wanted to take a team. So that comes into play. I'm sure they came down probably yesterday to give these players time to recuperate. And frankly, the opportunity to show everybody down here in Southeast that, between Boise and Southeast Idaho, they say they're the dominant teams. Lakeland saying, I want to show you that we are also a criminal team. And in what can only be said as a exhibition of power as the captains go out, 4 captains on both sides, the Skyline Grizzlies take their entire team out about 10 yards just to back up the captains, I guess.
That's good to have reinforcements, and I'll say the Skyline sideline outnumbers the Lakeland sideline about 2-1, it looks like, so they may have the depth there as well. Lakeland, I heard Ryan Skaggs, our broadcaster up north, told me that Lakeland was actually going to stay in Pocatello tonight after the game, because this game's going to get over at
10:30?
10:30, 11, so they're going to stay in Pocatello tonight, head back to Rathdrum tomorrow. But that is a long trip, no matter how you slice it up. Lakeland, the same thing happened last year. They had to come down to Pocatello and play Century in the opening round, and they lost 17-14. So they're thinking, what is it about
They're
us?
getting real tired of that drive.
Yes, absolutely. So Lakeland, they've played everywhere and anywhere. They played in week 0. They played Preston in Butte, Montana. They lost that game 7-6. They fell to Lake City, a 5A school, 14-3. And so through 2 games, they had scored a total of 9 points. People are asking, what's going on with this Lakeland offense? We know they're good. Well, they've gotten it figured out. They're now averaging 30.3 points per game. They've got a great wide receiver in Alden Waddington. He's going to be a guy to keep an eye on tonight for Lakeland. The running game has really started to solidify for the Hawks as well, with the swing back Thomas Calder and also a great running back in John Cornish. He wears the number 22. And he is really the focal point for this Lakeland offense. Skyline, of course, we know the guys. It's Hackey at quarterback, Kenyon Sadiq on the perimeter, and Abron Silverio as well, who is just fantastic. The one advantage... go ahead.
I was going to say, don't forget Caden Taggart. Last week's game, Caden Taggart in the receiver position really was the decoy off of Sadiq, and scored 2 touchdowns as a decoy. That's the kind of decoy you want.
Yes, so both of these teams boast the skill players. The one advantage that Skyline has coming into this game is Lakeland is small on the offensive line. And Skyline, we
is
know
not.
Skyline's got some big dudes on that defensive line. So it will be interesting to see how that battle shakes out, but you would certainly think Skyline would have the advantage there.
Brandon, you brought up the difference in the number of players here. And really what we're seeing is the difference in championships. Scott Berger here, a long-time successful program, last year state champions. In high school sports, when you get success, it breeds more success. And Lakeland, it's a little harder to field as many kids out of Lakeland as it is out of Skyline. You got more to draw from. But they're tough kids out of Lakeland. These kids, they play They practice regularly in 30 degrees.
And they always seem to be really good in wrestling as well when we get into the winter months. So Skyline will kick off this game to start tonight. They are in the dark blue jerseys and pants with the light blue letters and numbers and the white trim around them. Lakeland in the road whites, white jerseys, white shorts, kind of that dark green letter and number scheme, yellow trim around them, the yellow helmets. Skyline wearing the dark blue helmets. The opening kickoff is underway, and it will be sent through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Lakeland, starting at their own 20-yard line. They will be moving left to right here in our opening quarter of action.
Brendan, I'm not sure, was that a kickoff or was he practicing his field goals?
You know, you get inside Holt Arena and you see you're in the college venue and you do want to show off a little bit. You know, you're indoors, climate-controlled environment. I will say that the goalposts here at Holt Arena, they can't take them in and out, so they are narrower than what you would see in a normal...
Oh, they are, aren't they?
They're narrower than what you would see on a normal high school field outside, so
Good
that
catch.
is a challenge.
Good catch.
So 1st and 10 for the Lakeland Hawks. Devin Suko at quarterback out of a shotgun formation. 2 receivers to either side. They'll start with a handoff inside to John Cordish. We talked about
89 on the tackle. That's Johnny Basic. My good friend Greg Basic, the athletic director for Skyline. His boy, Johnny. Johnny used to bounce him on my knee.
Okay. Now he could probably pick you up and throw you in the air.
I'm not sure he hasn't. He scares me. Sorry.
3-yard gain for Cornish makes it 2nd and 7 now for Lakeland. Man in motion, slot from the right to the left. Suko going to throw a screen pass. That's the big man, Alden Waddington, breaking a couple of tackles. And Alden Waddington taking it across the 45, all the way down to the 48-yard line.
Great play. That was just a function of good timing and great blocking. Because he had that back, break that, after he made the catch, break that block, and was able to take that forward. They take it up the middle on this run, and they're only going to get a couple of yards. Trying to see who that was on the carry. That was number 23. I think that's... That
was John Cornish again on that carry, number 22.
Oh, I had him at 23, so I got to... Yep, there we go. Okay.
A 2-yard gain for Cornish. The 26-yard completion from Devin Suko to Alden Waddington, and now we have an injured Lakeland Hawk, one of the offensive linemen, Taylor Winkelcotter.
I love that name. He's going to win my state tournament name of the tournament, all-star name of the tournament list, Winkelcotter. I love it.
There you go.
Taylor, you win.
Well, while they attend to the injured Lakeland Hawk, let's step aside for a quick moment. We'll be back with more of this 4A opening round playoff game in just a moment on IdahoSports.com.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938. Insured by NCUA.
Out of the injury timeout, Winkelcotter able to get off the field under his own power, which is always great to see. 2nd down and 8 for Lakeland. It's going to be a quarterback keeper this time for Devin Suko as he crosses the 50 and takes it to the Skyline 49 for another gain of 2. And
Brandon, I don't think that was intended as a quarterback keeper. He kind of juggled that for a minute, and he's man in motion, kind of looked over his shoulder like, what happened? Where's my ball? But Suko heads-up play, athleticism at its best, as he just took it and moved it forward and not fumbled.
Yes, anytime you can get positive yardage out of a situation like that, it's not a bad thing. 3rd and 6 for Lakeland, a back on either side of Suko out of the shotgun. They will... Ball came out, and I think Skyline fell on top of that. We'll have to see. It was a read option play.
Nope. Lakeland got it back. That was luck. Either that or he's maneuvered underneath the bottom of the pile. Lakeland was able to pull it back, but all that does is give them the opportunity to punt.
Yeah, that was a read option play between Suko and the slot back, Thomas Calder. Fumbled it, and Lakeland, like you said, fortunate to recover it. 4th down now, the Hawks will punt. Skyline's got 2 return men standing at their own 15-yard line here with 9:25 and counting, opening quarter, no score.
Interesting to see last week Galbraith, and he's not going to get the ball. Oh, the Skyline fumbles that ball now. Fortunate for them. It went into the end zone. That's Isaac Harrison. Harrison, not usually the return man. Usually it's Ian Galbraith, as he last week had some fabulous returns. He picked up about 20 yards on every return.
Yes. And so, you talked about it. He went for the catch of the punt at the 15-yard line, muffed it. It rolled, because we're on turf, it rolled all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So again, Skyline very fortunate. We talked about Alden Waddington, the great wide receiver for Lakeland. He's also the punter, and he uncorked a beauty on that last punt for Lakeland.
I'd like to see him play some college ball, because that was certainly a college-worthy punt.
So 1st and 10 for Skyline from their own 20, working right to left here in this opening half of action. Lachlan Hackey back at quarterback, 4 wide, 2 to either side. They'll start with a handoff inside.
That's Silverio, I'm sure.
Yeah, Bron Silverio on the carry and gets half a yard. Well, we'll give him a full yard, I guess. 'Tis the season, right?
Yeah, not quite. It's not Halloween yet. Let's not push it.
Hey, I've seen the Christmas stuff in the stores.
I stay away from stores. They depress me this time of year. Brandon, you asked me earlier, having called Skylines 3 times, I think, in the rotation this year, what the name of the game was. Just exactly what we saw. Silverio.
It is 2nd down and 9. Bobbled snap, and Hackey has to fall on it back at the 10-yard line. So Skyline, and I don't know, this is kind of what Grizzly fans are talking about this year. There's just that inconsistency, it seems like, with this Skyline team.
Well, I'm watching Hackey come over and talk to Coach Berger, and Scott's an animated man. Let's just be kind that way. He wanted to make sure that Hackey understood we can't afford to bobble the execution. And any good coach, Scott's certainly a great coach, he's going to demand that of his team, especially when they're deep in their own backfield.
That play lost 10, so it's now 3rd and 19 for Skyline. Ball back at their own 11-yard line, 3 wide.
It's looking for Sadiq, I would imagine. Oh, nothing there. Fumble again.
So Hackey gets sacked.
It looks like Lakeland came up with it. That is Lakeland ball. On the 5-yard line, Lakeland gets the ball. Whoa, that hurts.
Coming up with a fumble recovery was Burcham, senior linebacker. So Burcham on the fumble recovery at the 5-yard line. Lakeland is in business, Tim.
Not only in business, they are deep in the red zone, and this is what Skyline can't afford to do, is give up turnovers in their own end zone almost, and Lakeland has to do to make this work for them.
1st and goal from the 5, and look at Devin Suko, the quarterback, the last guy sprinting out there. I guess he didn't think Lakeland recovered it.
I was sitting here watching thinking, are they going in the Wildcat? Because Suko's not there.
Yeah. And now, boy, Lakeland's got to burn a timeout, and that's going to really burn head coach Tim Kiefer.
Well, they were lucky because you saw the official counting. I counted 5.
Yes.
So they were generous in allowing that to happen, but that is not a timeout you want to give up if you're Lakeland.
Absolutely not. It's a timeout taken by Lakeland. We'll take the timeout as well and come back with more of this 4A opening round postseason game. 7:44 to play first quarter, no score. Back in a moment on IdahoSports.com.
Searching for a friendly, experienced insurance agency? Then look no further than Alta Insurance. Alta Insurance provides policies that are personalized to each client's needs by offering a wide range of products and companies to take care of your assets. Let one of our friendly and experienced agents take the time to sit down with you and understand your needs. Call or stop in today with offices in Idaho Falls and Twin Falls. Alta Insurance. It's not just about insurance.
Welcome back to Holt Arena. Brandon Maney alongside Tim Belknap after the timeout. 1st and goal from the 5, and it's a quarterback keeper for Devin Suko off the left side, and right back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
Yeah, Skyline defense did a great job on that. Suko took it down the top of the field, if you will, and they just followed him, didn't give him anything.
2nd and goal from the 5. This is coming after the fumbled snap by Lachlan Hackey, giving Lakeland the ball at the 5, hand off to John Cornish.
Oh, that's going to not go well.
A helmet came flying off. Cornish lost his helmet. As again, we talked about the strength coming in for Skyline was going to be that defensive line, and so far they're showing that you're not really going to be able to run on us like you want to.
Well, it'll be interesting what they call it. But Keegan Moss got in there and he grabbed his shoulder pads to throw him down, and his hand just slipped up and popped the helmet off. It wasn't an intentional, but I'm pretty sure they'd still call it that. Face mask.
And they called that the personal foul variety, so they'll move it half the distance to the goal. They'll put it at the 3-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know what? A costly penalty, not 15 yards at least, but certainly costly. A fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, or 2 fumbles on Skyline. Skyline's got to shake this off because right now this is going Lakeland's favor.
You mentioned Keegan Moss. I was talking to some of the Skyline coaches before the game tonight. They said his nickname is Tipsy. He said everybody calls him Tipsy. He said even his parents call him Tipsy.
No kidding.
The coach said, every time I look at the roster, I go, who's Keegan? And I go, oh, yeah, Tipsy.
I'm not exactly sure I want to know the reason for that, Brandon.
Look at this. Lakeland having trouble getting guys in and out of the huddle now, and now we're ready. It is 2nd and goal from the 3. Suko out of the gun. Hand off to Cornish. Banging inside. Maybe got a yard. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Johnny Basic in there making the stop. Again, he stands up and flexes his muscles. I hate to break it to you, Johnny, but you stopped him at the 3. You stop him at the 10, you can flex.
That's right. Everything's bunched in tight there. We're down to 6:10 to play in a fast-moving first quarter. No score yet, although Lakeland knocking at the door. It is a 3rd and goal from the 3. Can the Hawks punch it in after being gifted the ball at the 5-yard line?
Well, and can Skyline, can they show their strength of defense? And they're not going to.
Suko to the right side, dives into the end zone for the 3-yard touchdown.
That was a great play. Suko just took that right off the corner there. He was at the 3-yard line, and you could see him sniffing it. He could smell it. And he just stuck his head down, and he powered. Skyline made it a valiant effort as they hit him, but he just stretched that out, and Skyline let it happen.
Yeah, QB option play off the right side that time, and Suko just broke it outside and dove to the end zone. And now here's the point try by Owen Forsman, a sophomore. Try and make it a 7-0 lead with 5:54 to play in our opening quarter of action. That ball is drilled through the uprights and in.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if he can do field goals because he hit the top of the scoreboard with that kick. And if you have a kicker in high school that can kick field goals, that can change the difference in a lot of games, especially at the state playoff level.
Especially indoors as well, like we talked about, that climate control atmosphere, Tim. So.
Well, mistakes really costing the Skyline Grizzlies right now. They can't afford to have these kind of mistakes. Those 7 points literally gifted. I'm not trying to take anything away from Lakeland, but anytime you're given the ball at the 5-yard line, it's a gift.
So 7-0, Lakeland leading with 5:54 to play in our opening quarter of action. How will Skyline respond on this next kickoff? We'll find out in just a moment.
Folks, we want to just recognize our power boosters. We're so grateful to them. They help bring this broadcast to you. For the Lakeland Hawks, it's Knutson Chevrolet. For the Skyline Grizzlies, it's Rockwell Homes, MVP Rentals, Teton Auto Group, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, All Things Automotive, and Conan Heating and Air. Those are our power boosters for both teams tonight. We'll jump into some of our commercial sponsors at another break in action because they're getting ready, Brandon, to bring it back and see if the Skyline Grizzlies can answer that score by the Hawks.
That's right. It'll be Forsman to kick off for Lakeland, and back deep to return for the Grizzlies. Looks like Ian Galbraith and Racer Collins back there as well.
Ooh, they replaced Harrison after that bobble last time. That's painful.
And that kick goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 for Skyline, starting from their own 20-yard line. So we talked about the first drive looked promising, but they just had a hard time getting the snaps down and sloppy ball handling.
Yeah, not the team that you want the Skyline Grizzlies to show. Still, they've got Silvario, they've got Sadiq, they've got Taggart. They've got the offensive weapons if they just get the time to have them develop.
A 5-wide formation, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Hackey on first down. It's going to be a screen. That is caught by Kenyon Sadiq out to the 25-yard line and a gain of 5.
You don't even have to see the number. You just see the way he catches and then releases with his speed, and you know it's Sadiq. The prettiest touchdown I think I've watched was him catching it at the 20 on the sideline and just pulling away from 5 defenders like a superhero would.
Kenyon Sadiq was actually at Marsh Valley High School and then transferred to Skyline as a sophomore last year. Got his feet wet on the basketball court and as a reserve on the football team. And now here he is kind of with the spotlight in his junior season.
Yeah, certainly with a lot of potential.
And off to Silverio, trying to break it outside and met right at the line of scrimmage by Mason Burcham. He's the guy who recovered that fumble. And there he is stopping Silverio dead in his tracks for no gain, 3rd and 5.
That's impressive. Lakeland shutting down Silverio, because Silverio, on all the games that I've called, and that's, out of 9, only 3. But Silverio is good. You give him that ball, he's good from 3 to 5 yards. And so far tonight, he's been stopped at the line of scrimmage. Both times he's handled the ball. That could be a difference in this game, Brendan.
Another 5-wide formation for Skyline. 2 to the right, 3 to the left. 4.5 to play first quarter. 7-0 Lakeland. Out route, sliding catch is trapped.
Taggart, but he trapped it against the ground, yeah.
Trying to go to Taggart that time on the out route on the right side. It's 4th down. Skyline will punt.
Hackey's having some struggles tonight, and I think it's, this is his first time as a quarterback in playoffs. Last year it was Cade Marlowe, a fabulous quarterback, and a little bit of nerves. I look for Hackey to settle down, get it together, but not on this series.
And for Lakeland last year, their big star was Ammon Munier, the 6'5" tight end who's at Weber State now. But a lot of these guys that are seniors played last year as juniors, so they may be the more experienced team. A dangerous fielded punt there by Thomas Calder. Made it the 45, and we may have catch interference here against Skyline.
Absolutely. He made contact with that receiver as the ball did, and that's not going to fly.
So Thomas Calder on the punt return caught it at his own 45-yard line. Like you said, there was a Skyline guy there as soon as he caught it. So,
yeah, that's. I wish we had an award for the gutsy guy of the game, because he'd get it. I mean, he went through and made that catch while he was being bear hugged at 30 miles an hour,
and he got a 5-yard return out of it too. He took it to the 50.
But if we had a gutsy guy of the game, Thomas, you'd get it.
Thomas Calder started as a sophomore last year at that slot back position for Lakeland, and he's a speedster when he gets the ball in his hands. So
excellent.
Looks like Lakeland declined the penalty. They'll just take where they returned it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks at the Skyline 49-yard line with 3:51 to play in the first quarter, and the Hawks leading 7-0. Tight end to the left, 3 receivers to the right. Suko back to pass, going for the deep shot to Alden Waddington, and overshot him.
Waddington slipped.
Yeah,
he kind of went down to a knee, and shout out to him. He went to his knee and popped right back up. So certainly showing some athleticism, but the pass would have been tough to be caught. I think it was 5 yards, probably deeper than he could have made it even without the slip.
Yeah, he slipped around the 30, and that pass was at the 20. So 2nd and 10 for Lakeland. 2 receivers either side this time, and the tailback Cornish on the left hip of Suko out of the shotgun.
One of the great stories here is Cornish, the tailback for Lakeland, one of the assistant coaches for Skyline, Clint Cornish, the head basketball coach, too.
That's right.
So a little bit of Cornish on both sides.
Cornish, I don't know, there's something with the Cornish game hand there I didn't fully visualize it. Thomas Calder makes the reception in the flat and takes it for a gain of 5. So a 5-yard completion to Thomas Calder for Lakeland will make it 3rd and 5 for the Hawks. The ball is at the Skyline 44.
Well, this has been all Lakeland so far.
Yes.
Skyline just not having any luck. A couple of defensive plays, but nothing that would show on the scoreboard.
3:10 and counting first quarter. 7-0 Hawks lead. They're going to try and sweep it with Cornish on the outside. Nowhere to go. That play got stopped in the backfield.
That's Isaac Farnsworth. He read that beautifully. Just watched him follow the play down, just what he was supposed to do, and gets that sack, really. Loss of what, 4?
4-yard loss on that sweet play by Cornish, and yeah, Isaac Farnsworth, they call him the Joker. Joker Farnsworth.
You got all the nicknames. This is
those
great.
Those are the only two.
I was gonna say I'm gonna hit my friend Greg. Why are you not giving me the nicknames, man? These are great. The Joker.
And I knew Joker from last year. He started on the Skyline basketball team.
Oh, that's right.
Clint Cornish keyed me in on that. 4th down, Alden Waddington to punt again from his own 40-yard line. And again, a beautiful kick uncorked, taken at the 7-yard line. And and out to the 19-yard line on the return for Skyline.
It's Isaac Harrison. He back in the game after having bobbled that first one. They pulled him out for one, brought him back in, and he made sure he caught that one and fielded it this time. He's not going to give that chance up again.
That's right. So Skyline gets it back. 2:13 to play in the first quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 with the ball right at their own 20-yard line.
You know, if I'm Skyline right now, Brandon, I come out of this, they're playing the shotgun, a slant with Taggart over the middle because they've been playing that line tight. Open it up a little bit.
1st and 10, inside shovel pass is complete to the 25-yard line, and that was Caden Taggart that time on the shovel pass.
Right player, wrong route.
Well, you get a half a point there, Tim.
Well, if we're keeping points, I'm in serious trouble.
So Taggart takes it for 5, and for Lakeland, you'll notice a lot of the same guys that played on offense have to play on defense as well. You see Thomas Calder out there as a kind of a rover. Alden Waddington is out at cornerback on the right side. And so that's maybe where Skyline can take advantage as the game goes on, their depth, right?
Very few players play both ways for Skyline. They have that depth of players, like you said.
Lachlan Hackey, quarterback keeper this time off the left side, takes it for a gain of 2. It'll be closer to 3, and we'll call it 3rd down and 2.
To speak to what you're talking about, a few years back, as my good friend Greg Basic was sitting in the booth with me, I'm calling a game, and I said he was scouting the team for Skyline's next week's game, and I said, Greg, what do you see? And he goes, we've got that next game won. And I said, how's that? He says, they've got kids going both ways. We don't allow that. We want fresh players in the fourth quarter. And you know what? I called that game the next week. He was right. That fatigue really making a difference in that fourth quarter.
3rd and 2 for the Grizzlies. Handoff out of the gun. Abron Silverio across the 35 to the 36. That is enough for the first down, a gain of 8.
That's the Silverio I've been looking for. The guy that gets the ball and just finds a way to pick up 10 yards.
That's right. Ran out of bounds on the near sideline to stop the clock with 44 seconds to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Lakeland lead, but Skyline trying to put something together here.
Yeah, you don't want to see a team take a whole first quarter to find their groove, but Skyline's starting to look like they're shaking off the nerves or the anxiety of this game.
3 receivers bunched right side over the middle. That ball intercepted by Thomas Calder of Lakeland. Calder on the return takes it across the 40 and out of bounds around the 35.
What a great pick. Calder just playing the invisible center fielder. They didn't even see him. Lakeland, he threw a beautiful pass to Sadiq. You're getting ready for a break, and all of a sudden Calder just steps in there and says, thank you very much. And again, turnover costing the Skyline Grizzlies as Lakeland getting it in their own territory now.
Second takeaway of the game for Lakeland. Burcham with the fumble recovery, and now Calder with the pick. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lakeland. Ball at the Skyline 36-yard line. Suko out of the shotgun, back to pass, has time, going deep for Alden Waddington. It is caught over the top and down at the 1, they'll say.
They had him man-to-man. You saw him make that throw, and you knew. That was up to Waddington to make the catch, and he did so falling backwards on his back. It was Brandon, good call, because I couldn't tell where he came down. Where are they going to spot that?
They call him down at the 1, so that is a 35-yard completion on the far side to Alden Waddington. And as you said, he turned around and kind of fell to his back as he made that reception. He's 6'5". I mean,
That's a good target.
Yes.
Just throw it up. Let him jump.
10 seconds to play first quarter. Suko trying to keep it himself, and he is stopped. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. After a quarter, Lakeland leading Skyline 7-0. It will be a 2nd and goal situation for the Hawks at the 1 when we start our second quarter.
Let's just take a minute to recognize our commercial sponsor since we're at the break. Rockwell Homes in Idaho Falls is Southeast Idaho's #1 home builder. By using local subcontractors and upholding the highest quality standards, Rockwell Homes strives to exceed your expectations and to create a unique and innovative home tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Are you ready to start building your dream home? Let Rockwell Homes help design the perfect place for you and your family to call home. To see available homes, floor plans, and other great information, go online, rockwellhomes.net. The Johnson family and everyone at Rockwell Homes are proud of the local student athletes, and I want to wish them all the best of luck in the tournaments. Also, C&B Operations, For all of your commercial John Deere new and used agricultural equipment, choose C&B Operations. They're East Idaho's premier John Deere dealership. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge Street in Blackfoot for all your equipment needs, or visit them online at www.deerequipment.com. That's DeeRequipment.com. C&B Operations in Blackfoot is a proud supporter of all student athletes, and they want to wish them all good luck in the tournaments.
So start of the second quarter, we'll flip the field. Lakeland now working right to left. It is a 2nd and goal for the Hawks at the 1. Suko, quarterback keeper, into the end zone for the second time tonight.
Same play, too.
Yeah, off the right side, you're right, same exact. Yeah, off the right tackle. Suko into the end zone for the second time tonight. And it is Lakeland extending their lead 13-0 with 11:57 to play before halftime.
Well, you know, I'm not a coach. There's a reason I'm in the broadcast booth. But if I'm Lakeland, that's working for them. Keep doing that when you get down within the 5. Suko proving that he's worth every penny they pay him.
You know, what's working for them is continuing to get takeaways on defense that are leading to these great positions. Forsman's kick is through the uprights and in. So 14-0.
Brandon, this is not the game I came here expecting to see. I thought Skyline had the advantage in today's game, but it's the playoffs. You expect to see Lakeland come in and play hard. I didn't expect them to come in and, for all intents and purposes, dominate Skyline.
They have. 2 takeaways on defense, a couple of big passing plays to Waddington. He's got 2 receptions right now for 61 yards. And
in 1 quarter, roughly.
Yes, in 1 quarter, basically. And I think this is kind of a microcosm of Class 4A football this year. I looked at the bracket today, Tim, and I sat there and went through all the teams, and 13 of the 16 teams that are playing, I kind of said to myself, I could see them in the championship. I'm not saying they could win it, but I could see them playing for it, which is just mind-boggling that there are so many teams. It's going to be about who can be the most consistent over 4 weeks, right?
You know, and if you listen to Brandon's podcast today,
yeah,
you said that. The incomparable Lance Taylor and you analyzing the 4A brackets. And I remember when you said that, I thought, really? And then I looked at him and went, man, I got to give it to you. You guys are right.
Yeah, there really is. This thing is wide open. Anybody is capable of taking it. And right now, Lakeland is taking this game by the horns. Yeah, that was the East Idaho Prepcast. We do it every week with Lance Taylor and myself. You can get that at IdahoSports.com, wherever you download your podcasts, or our Facebook page or YouTube channel. Another big kick, and
Galbraith did not want to. He wanted to run that out. He leaned back with his foot in the end zone and wanted to pretend like he could bring it out. The official wisely says, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah. Touchback despite Galbraith's best efforts. So.
Galbraith, he's wanting to show that he's the return man that I praised him to be, and Lakeland's smart in not allowing him to be that.
I don't think he's going to get an opportunity tonight with the way Forsman's been kicking it.
Yeah. Tell you what, Forsman, I don't know who he could play for, but I think he could play at least at the D2 level.
1st and 10 for Skyline. They're now working left to right here in this second quarter of action. They start with a screen pass out to the left side.
Taggart on that.
Yeah, which is complete to Caden Taggart for a gain of 3, we'll call it, to make it 2nd and 7.
Skyline's got to figure out how to keep a hold of the ball, not have a turnover. They've had 2, actually I guess 3, haven't they? 2 of them resulting in points.
Yes.
That's the 14 points right there. Skyline just went last series, just when they were starting to look like they were putting it together, through that interception, and now really needing to find a way to get Silverio open.
On that last play, Abron Silverio off left tackle on the draw play for a gain of only 2 to make it 3rd and 5 for Skyline now with the ball at the 30. Actually, it looks like it's closer to 3rd and 4, we'll call it, with the ball at the 26-yard line.
Brandon, I don't know if you watched the Emotion Bowl between Idaho Falls and Skyline.
I saw the highlights.
Highlights on that? That's kind of what happened. Skyline just didn't connect it, and Idaho Falls able to take advantage of that. First time in 9 years that Idaho Falls beat them.
3rd and 4, and Lachlan Hackey was hit as he threw that ball. John Cornish got in there to hit the arm as he threw it out. That pass falls well short of the intended target. It is 4th down, and Skyline will have to punt it away again.
I feel like you're calling John Cornish a lot. He's having a great night.
Well, it's like I said, a lot of these guys have to go both ways for Lakeland, so they are well conditioned. I'll say that.
Well, Cornish, he's trying to audition for the IdahoSports.com Player of the Game in the first half, so that there's no question.
That's right. Here is the punt from Skyline, a high one, not a ton of distance, and this time the fair catch called for by Thomas Calder and hauled in at his own 46-yard line. So here's Lakeland again starting in pretty decent field position.
I was surprised he took that catch. I thought he'd let it bounce after that last play where he got drilled. And two Skyline players right there, but this time pulled up within the required distance. But I'm pretty sure he heard those elephant footsteps coming at him.
Yes, no doubt. 10:36 to go before halftime. It is 14-0. Lakeland leading on the road here against Skyline. Inside Holtz Arena in Pocatello. Brandon Bainey with Tim Belknap here on IdahoSports.com. Thanks for being with us. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. They've got 3 receivers to the right. Single receiver to the left is Waddington. Look at this. It's going to be an end-around play for Thomas Calder. Penalty flags come flying out as he gets popped in the backfield for a loss of 3 or 4.
And, yeah, that's going to be an illegal block in that backfield or a holding. It's where they threw that. There was somebody back there.
And in on the stop for Skyline that time was Keanu Kishiyama.
Again, the great names. They keep flying here. I just like saying Kishiyama.
Yes. Well, he was flying around that time and blew up that play. Even without the penalty, it would have been a loss of yardage. They're going to move this all the way back to Lakeland's 34-yard line, where it is going to be first down and 23.
This is as deep as Lakeland's been so far in this game. 23-yard first down mark there.
Yeah, real first sign of adversity for the Hawks. Here comes the pressure. Suko trying to escape and cannot. Sacked back at the 15-yard line.
Johnny Basic. Now you can flex, Johnny. Now flex.
And he does.
Johnny having the game of his night. He's been a consistent defensive contributor, but usually I'm looking for a way to sneak his name in to keep myself in graces with the family. Tonight, I'm not needing to. Johnny having a great night.
Yes. Well, Suko that time, Skyline brought the blitz, and he saw it as soon as he took the snap and could not escape. 2nd down and 36 now for the Hawks. They're going to try a run play up the middle for John Cornish, and he breaks into the secondary and takes it to the 35-yard line. How about that? A gain of 15 on the carry for Cornish.
Wow, that was a great gain, and frankly, the touchdown-saving tackle there by Chandler Robinson, because Cornish, you know what, kind of like a cartoon. When those legs start moving, it's kind of a blur. He just takes off. Great running field.
And now it makes it a manageable, as much as it can be, 3rd and 19 for Lakeland.
For Lakeland this game, yeah, manageable. And they go deep for it.
Suko deep shot for Waddington, trying the one-handed grab. In and out of the breadbasket. Kenyon Sadiq in coverage. It's going to be fun watching those two duke it out all night.
Well, I was watching the official because those two both had hands on each other, and I'm like, yeah, it could go either way. And the official had his hand on the flag and then dropped his hand. I think he was having the same battle I was. Who do I call it on if I call it?
Right. I think that's a good no call.
I agree, actually.
Oh, but penalty flag
here
in the Lakeland backfield. Holding call against the Hawks. Skyline will decline that penalty, take the result of the play, as it will now be 4th and 19, and Lakeland will have to punt.
Wow. We both, I guess I need to watch that line better because I was watching that receiver so well. I didn't even see that flag till you brought my attention to it. Thanks for keeping me honest.
Well, yeah, I was watching the battle downfield just like you were, Tim, so... 4th down with 9:01 to play before halftime. Lakeland leading 14-0. Alden Waddington to punt again. And 2 Skyline Grizz back deep to return.
Ooh, they almost get a hand on that.
And a high one, not a ton of distance for Waddington. Takes a Skyline bounce and will be downed by Lakeland at the 39-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizz.
Good field position for the Grizz. It'll be interesting to see if now not having to maybe worry about being in deep in their own territory, if they can open up their offense. Because at this point in time, with just under 9 minutes to go in half, they've got to show some offense to continue to be relevant in this game.
14-0 Lakeland lead. Skyline tries to get to work again here offensively. 1st and 10 from their own 39. Hackey out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left. Single receiver to the right is Sadiq, man in motion. They will give on a counter play left side to Abron Silverio. Silverio
there we go.
Carrying Thomas Calder all the way to the 49-yard line. A 10-yard gain and a first down.
Okay, Silverio's filling it. Did you see what he did? He made that 10-yard drive. They brought him down. He stood up. He looked over at the chains and then did the first down mark. His way of flexing.
Well, I guess I'm old school, Tim, because when you're doing that down 14-0, time and a place, right?
Great point, Brandon. Great point. I will concede.
Lakeland can just point to the scoreboard and say, yes, so. First and 10. Silverio again up the middle this time, and that time held to a gain of just 4.
You know, both teams, Skyline having played on this turf before, not this year, but certainly in past years. Lakeland, I'm not sure they have played. Have they?
They came here.
Century?
They came here 2 years ago and played Blackfoot at the Rocky Mountain Rumble, and that was here at Holt Arena. But then the pandemic happened last year, and so they have been here, but it's been a couple of years. Last year when they played Century, it was outside.
Yep. Well, now that's tough. This turf is a different field than the grass, and so it tripped up Silverio on that play as he tried to adjust.
Taggart gets the handoff and an end around left to right, and Taggart diving for the 40 has enough for the first down. They needed 7, and it looks like he got 8.
You know what? As you're watching him come down that line of scrimmage as the play's developing, he's fast, first of all, but he did what every good ball player or ball runner is supposed to do. He looked and he found out where that first down mark was, and you saw him. He just went right for it. The minute he had it, he let the hit push him out of bounds.
First and 10 for Skyline, ball at the Lakeland 40, down 14-0, and 7:40 to play before halftime. Inside counter play again. This is Taggart taking it to the Lakeland 36 for a gain of 4. In on the stop for the Hawks that time was Mason Burcham.
Burcham having a great game too. He's both sides of the field, making his name relevant. Skyline now moving the ball a little bit, getting their offense alive. Maybe they'll be able to shake off some nerves and show us that they can score. With 7 minutes left in this game, or this half, not this game. Didn't mean to cause every Skyline player a heart attack out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of time still. We're at 7:05 before halftime. Hackey out of the shotgun. Taggart, the man in motion, right to left. They will fake the fly sweep, handoff up the middle. LeBron Silverio breaking to the secondary. The 15.
Oh, he fumbles!
Ball came out, but he falls back on top of it at the 6-yard line.
Wow, talk about... I don't even know what to say to that, Brandon. That ball, he fumbled it, and it bounced up into his arms. If he's not going to church on Sundays, he better start, because that was a gift from God.
It goes down as a gain of 31 for Abron Silverio, who fumbled it at the 8 and then recovered it at the 5. It'll be first and goal now for Skyline as they finally got a big play on the ground.
Well, and I mentioned Silverio being the difference in this game for Skyline, or this offense for Skyline, and there we saw why.
6.5 to go before halftime. First and goal. It is going to be
Galbraith.
Galbraith Wildcat play as he takes it across the 5 and right back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they didn't give him forward motion. I thought they would, but they called him at the line. Actually, a little bit behind the line, so they will lose a little.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they moved that back to the 6. So that is a loss of 1, and now it's second and goal from the 6. 6 minutes to play before halftime. Lakeland in front of Skyline 14-0.
Skyline having to punch this in. I don't care how much time it takes, what they've got to do. They have to get the ball in the end zone.
2 receivers to the left, tight end to the left as well. Single receiver to the right is Sadiq. It will be another Wildcat play for Galbraith, and again, right back to the 6-yard line. Lakeland doing a pretty good job, despite being undersized. Burcham is the first guy in there again for Lakeland, and then helping fill the gap at the end was Bo Wilding, a senior.
Well, you know what I'm most impressed with for Lakeland? Take a look at that nose tackle, if you will, for just a minute. Number 56, Bo Wilding.
Yeah.
We don't have heights and weights, but that kid can't be bigger than 5'5". Look at him down there with all those monsters. And he's plugging up that hole on that monster Skyline offense. Heads off.
It's actually pretty preferred as a D tackle because the low man wins on the pass rush, right? Here's a pass to the end zone that's caught at the 1-yard line on the near side. Kenyon Sadiq. Sadiq had to come back for it, and his momentum took him out of the end zone, so he catches it at the 1, and now it will be 4th and goal from the 1 for Skyline.
Frankly, he took that pass away from his defender. He came back and just jumped, pulled it out of the hands of the defender for the catch. So that was incredible athleticism by Sadiq.
That was Richie Thomas in coverage for Lakeland on that last play. So here we go. 4th and goal from the 1 for Skyline. 4.5 to play before halftime. Grizz down 14-0. Direct snap to Kenyon Sadiq. Leaps over the pile and into the end zone for a Grizzly touchdown.
It shows you why Sadiq is on the high jumping team at Skyline, right? He got some serious air as he went. I think his knees were at everybody else's helmet as he went across that plane.
I mean, you want your tall guy in there, right? Kenyon Sadiq at 6'4".
Sadiq's a great ball player. I love watching him play basketball, football. Sometimes on the other side of the game, it's not as fun, but man, he's a good athlete.
And the point after attempt is drilled by Jacob DeMott. And that makes it 14-7 now. Lakeland still leading with 4:23 to play here before halftime.
Let's take just a minute in the break, Brandon, to recognize some more of our commercial sponsors. Thompson, Holman, Weiler, they've served East Idaho for over 25 years. The law firm offers extensive experience in a wide range of legal services and represents a broad range of clients, from local individuals to international corporations. They realize how important a client's case is to them individually, so they strive to give each case the attention it would receive if the client was handling it themselves. No matter the size, if you need an attorney, call Michael White at Thompson, Holman, Weiler today at 208-522-1230 or visit their website at www.thelaw.com. That's THWLAW.com. Thompson, Holman, Weiler is proud to support the Skyline Grizzlies football program, and they wish the Grizzlies good luck in tonight's game.
So maybe the Grizzlies getting a little momentum, but 4:23 to play before halftime. Still plenty of time for Lakeland to mount a response. The Hawks still leading 14-7.
Certainly, 4 minutes is all and enough, depending on if the defense for the Skyline comes to play like they did that last series and made them punt, or if the Lakeland offense can make plays like that 30-yard falling on your back play down here that they scored on.
That's right. Here is the kick taken at the 4-yard line, and they will hand off to the other return man on the outside.
Calder.
Yeah, to the 19-yard line. That was Jack Betcher, who took the second handoff initially. Cody Morse received it and then handed off to Betcher, and he returns it to the 19-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Lakeland.
Yeah, Skyline didn't bite on that one at all. Thought they would. They played the ball as they should and just basically set it up at the 19, so that's as good as kicking it in the end zone.
That's right. So here we go, 1st and 10 for Lakeland. We were talking about John Cornish a lot. Ryan Skaggs, our co-host of the North Idaho Prepcast with me each week, he said Cornish runs an 11-1 in the 100-meter dash. And here is the speed, breaking it outside. Cornish across the 30 and to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of 15 and a 1st down.
That kid is just impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not huge. You want to see a running back that's able to, pull a plow and a couple of bales of hay with him, and he's not. But man, what an impact! He just powers forward. Usually it's 3 to 5. It's 10 for him.
Yeah, showing off that 11-1 speed in the 100-meter dash. 1st and 10 for Lakeland from their own 34-yard line. Another handoff to Cornish off the right side. And again, Cornish trying to break it outside and broke a tackle. And again, close to a 10-yard gain and another 1st down as
they give it to him. Yep, 1st down.
Yeah, to the 44-yard line. So you are another 10-yard gain for Cornish. Now, initially, Skyline had him for about a 4-yard gain, but he shook off that tackle in the second effort, got him the 1st down.
He was just trying to prove me right when I said he's good for 10 yards at a shot, so he had to emphasize the point, little exclamation point. Good job, Cornish.
Anytime you make us look smart, we're in favor of that.
Absolutely. I can take all the help you want to give me. I need it.
1st and 10 for Lakeland from their own 44. 3:20 to play before halftime, leading 14-7. Suko out of a shotgun, 2 receivers either side. Skyline looks like they're going to bring pressure. They do. Suko and in and out of the hands of Thomas Calder on the far sideline. Would have been a gain of 6.
Well, at the catch, but I think he had some distance because Skyline was, 3 yards off of him. if he's got any speed there on that sideline, he could have probably picked up the first.
Oh, Calder's got speed.
Well, and I think that's what he was doing. He was trying to make the run before he had the ball, and that's always unfortunate when you're a receiver.
So 2nd and 10 from the 44. Handoff inside to Cornish this time, and nothing doing. Couple of Skyline Grizz in there. Looked like Jackson White, the senior, was the first guy.
Yep, that's exactly who it was. And they're being pushed around a little bit like they're not used to being pushed around. And I think just my hat's off to the Lakeland Hawks. With a size differential, they are just kind of having their way with those bigger Grizzlies. And those Grizz have got to figure out what it is they're doing and be able to get that defense alive, because other than a few plays, they've kind of dominated in there.
1 yard gain for Cornish, makes it 3rd and 9. Suko back to pass. It is complete on the far side. The reception is made by Richie Thomas. He tried to stretch for the first down marker. I think he's going to be a yard shy, though.
Yeah, he is. I think he went out of bounds, but great play. Shows he knows what he's doing as he tries to stretch for that, but very doable 4th and 1 versus a 4th and 10. Take that every time.
So an 8-yard gain to Richie Thomas, 4th and 1 for Lakeland. Ball is at the Skyline 47-yard line. 47. They got to get to the 46 for the first down. 2:25 to play before halftime. Certainly looks like Lakeland is going to go for it. So you mentioned Skyline's defensive line has the size over Lakeland's offensive line, and size helps, but good technique can beat size sometimes.
Well, and I think we're seeing that tonight. Technique. Because you can't have guys that are just at every position fairly significant size differential and really outmaneuver them like the Lakeland Hawks have done to the Skyline Grizzlies tonight. So hats off to their coaching staff, because they've done a great job of teaching these kids. And to these kids, I mean, they're executing, and that's every coach's dream. Execution, what we taught you all season, comes to fruition in the playoffs. If you're not doing it by now, you got no business staying in the dance.
Absolutely. So 4th and 1 for Lakeland out of the timeout. They now have 1 timeout remaining with 2:25 to play before halftime. It is 4th and 1 for the Hawks at the Skyline 47. Suko lines up out of a shotgun. 2 receivers left, single receiver right. Now they're going to split Cornish out in the backfield. Quarterback keeper for Suko. It's blown up. Skyline gets in there to stop it.
Johnny Basic getting in there again. He's having a night of his life as he, at the defensive end spot, just came forward for containment and right into Suko. Suko was going, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing? And I don't want to dance.
Officially a loss of 3 for Suko on the quarterback keeper, as he ran off the right side, and it was like Skyline had 3 guys there waiting for him. That got blown up. The ball will be right at the 50-yard line now for the Grizzlies with 2:21 to go before halftime, trailing 14-7.
So the Grizzlies, great turnover, midfield, good position, 2 minutes to go, plenty of time to score, and they really have to make this an even game at halftime, because that's a positive for Skyline to get to that point at this part of the game.
Hackey out of the gun, handoff to Abron Silverio, taking it for a gain of 4 to the Lakeland 46-yard line.
Silverio, he's coming alive. 4 yards on that. I've said that he's consistently good for 4 to 6 yards, so he's starting to get back to his average. And although it's going to eat the clock up faster than they want, if they do 4 yards at a time, certainly they'll take it.
Still a lot of time, 1:50 to play before halftime. Hackey back to pass, has plenty of time, going for the deep shot to Sadiq. It is broken up. Double coverage by the Hawks that time. Back there in the secondary, Richie Thomas, and also back there was Cody Morse.
You know, that's brave of Hackey to throw into double coverage. I know it's Sadiq, but he had 2 different receivers man-to-man on the other side of the field. He really should have gone that way. But if you're the safety, it's easy to read when your quarterback rolls out. The quarterback, not yours. The quarterback rolls to the right side of the field.
And also a holding call against Skyline as well. And that'll move it from 2nd and 6 to 2nd down and 23 now with the ball all the way back at their own 37-yard line.
Now that's going to cost them seriously, because now they're not at midfield. They're deep, and they got to start throwing deep hits to get the yardage back.
Screen pass on the right side, caught by Sadiq, spins out of a couple of tackles and will take it up to the 44-yard line. So a gain of 7 on that reception to Sadiq with 1:30 to go before halftime and a timeout taken by Skyline.
Well chosen for Skyline. We're going to continue to recognize our sponsors for the Lakeland Hawks. Super One Foods. At Super One Foods, compromise is not an option. We set the standard. Number 1, we have lower prices. Number 2, we make your dollar stretch further. Visit any Super One Foods in Rathdrum, Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Sandpoint, or Bonners Ferry. And you'll see we set the standard. They say, go Hawks! And also, Conan Heating and Air in Idaho Falls, they're your premier Lennox dealer. Conan Heating and Air has provided superior HVAC service in Idaho Falls since 1946. That's 75 years with highly qualified and experienced technicians. No job too big, too small. For all of your furnace needs, whether it be repair or new, check out, if you're in Idaho Falls, check out the job and give it to Conan Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit them online for more information, www.conanheating.com.
So 3rd down and 15 now for Skyline out of that timeout at their own 44-yard line. Actually, their own 45. Hackey back to pass. Here comes the blitz. He's sacked back at the 35-yard line.
He didn't even see him coming. You know that?
Thomas Calder came off the edge to sack Hackey back at the 36, they'll call it.
Boy, Calder just went in untouched, and Hackey, with his back to him, looking to throw, he's really lucky that he didn't have his arm in motion because that would have popped out. As it was, he hit him with the ball still at his chest, and Hackey able to hold on to it as he goes down.
And now Lakeland spends their final time out of the half because it is 4th down. Skyline will have to punt here, and depending on what kind of field position Lakeland gets, they'll have roughly a minute 15 to work with to try and maybe get a score right before halftime.
You know what, Lakeland, they're playing this game, this first half, the second quarter. Not as much all Lakeland as the first quarter was, but certainly well managed by the Hawks. They're chipping away defensively, offensively, and certainly they've got to feel good going into halftime. My usual cameraman, Matt Kelly, he always says the halftime declaration by the coaches. That was
a low snap back to Sadiq, the punter that time. Kind of a low line drive kick. Takes a Skyline bounce and a roll and will be down at the 24-yard line. But, man, Lakeland just about got in there to block that.
Heads-up move by Sadiq as that was a low snap, maybe a little slow. But Lakeland in there, and I couldn't have done that, but he kind of picked between the two guys ready to crunch him and kick that ball off. And frankly, an amazing kick for what it should have been. It probably should have been about a 20-yard kick, and ultimately ended up being about a 45-yard kick, I think.
Down to the 24. Not only that, but because the ball rolled so much, it took a lot of time off the clock. We're down to 1:06 to play now before halftime. Lakeland up 14-7. They will have to go the distance here with no timeouts at their disposal.
Well, certainly they know how to do that. Just give the ball to Cornish. Let him run.
Suko, 4 wide, going to an out route. It is...
The ball came loose, but I think they're going to call it a catch. They do call it a catch.
So that's Thomas Calder on the reception for a gain of 9 on the out route. And they'll hurry up to the line here. We're down to 45 seconds of counting before halftime. Suko again, out route, trying to get out of bounds, and Richie Thomas does after a gain of 3.
But the first down, that's what they needed. Make sure they continue their downs and not have to work against a 4-down count. And now, first down stops the clock. They have time to set.
1st and 10 for Lakeland. 44 seconds to play before halftime. Ball is at their own 36-yard line. Suko again, 4 wide, 2 to either side. Back to pass. Throwing to the outside again. Skyline nearly jumped the route to pick it off, but Calder was able to make the reception in front.
That was great. Robinson was there. I thought well positioned for the pick. Calder pulls it in. Great catch, and it falls out of bounds, so he stops the clock too.
So 3 times they've run that out route to the far side. I don't know you can run it a 4th time without it getting picked. Suko rolling out, now looking to the left side this time, throws it short, incomplete. Sadiq was there in coverage on Alden Waddington. It's now 3rd down and 4.
I got to talk to Coach Basic. because Sadiq out there in the safety position goes against everything he told me. You can't go both ways, and he is.
Well, this is the playoffs, and for a once-in-a-generation talent like Alden Waddington,
okay,
do what
valid.
you can.
Yeah, I would at any time.
And now penalty flags before this play can get started for Lakeland. It's going to be against the Hawks.
Illegal motion. The official just signaled. Excuse me. That's a little painful when you're driving well, and you're moving third and what was it? 3rd and 2.
It was 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3.
And now 3rd and 8.
Painful. 35 seconds left. You can't afford those kind of mistakes.
Ball back at their own 37-yard line now for Lakeland. Leading 14-7, trying to get a score before halftime. No timeouts. Suko in trouble. Ducks one sack, but not the second. The ball came out at the end as well.
Skyline gets it.
Skyline recovers.
I didn't see who had the tackle, but for the Grizzlies, that's big number 8, Trey Olson. He falls on the ball, and he's over here doing the happy dance. I don't know if that's his first one, but that's certainly a memorable one. Anytime you can recover a fumble or get a pick in the playoffs, you know it's definitely a good time.
Suko avoided the first hit, but not the second, and Trey Olson recovers that fumble for the Grizzlies, and now Skyline's got the ball with 28 seconds to go before halftime. Ball is at the Lakeland 31-yard line, and Skyline has 2 timeouts to work with as well.
I don't think I've ever seen so many turnovers in a half in playoff.
5 wide, Hackey back to pass, hit as he throws a wobbler. Somehow Sadiq makes the catch over the top of Cornish in defense and takes it to the 15-yard line.
That's the second pass. He's pulled out of the hands of his defender, and then he picked up 5 yards after that. That's incredible. Sadiq, way to go. Wow.
Timeout taken by Skyline with 20 seconds to go before halftime. Yet John Cornish was in coverage, and Sadiq kind of just went over. He was behind Cornish and kind of just went over the top of him and said, "I'll take that, thanks."
Well, I think Cornish thought he had the ball because he knew Sadiq was behind him,
yeah,
and he didn't realize Sadiq had come back and had those long of arms. Because I think Cornish thought he had a pick.
Yep, I agree. And Sadiq is able to somehow pluck that out of the air, take it to the 15-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Skyline with 20 seconds to go before halftime. Wow. 1 timeout still remaining for the Grizzlies.
Well, this is interesting. 20 seconds left. I mean, I know you've got first and 10 at the 15, but you've 20 seconds. I mean, you've got, if they're quick plays, 3. If they're not, 2 to get it in. You don't have 4, 5, or 6. It's got to go. It's got to go now.
Lakeland Hackey, 4 wide, 2 to either side, has time, taking the shot to the end zone, and that was a busted play that's intercepted in the end zone by Lakeland. And now out on the return, this is Alden Waddington taking it to the 45 and lowering the shoulder with 6 seconds to go before halftime. Returns that interception out to the 50-yard line.
What a great pick. I mean, he got that about 3 yards deep in the end zone and still was able to wind his way out to the 50. I tell you what, that kid is impressive. He went through 3 or 4 tacklers, weaving and juking, and got hit at the 45 and still picked up 5 yards. That kid has got a future in football.
Just 6 seconds to go before halftime. Alden Waddington, I don't know what happened on that pass, but it was like Waddington was the intended receiver. I mean, he threw it right to him, right, like you said, 2 yards in the end zone. Waddington returns it all the way to the 49-yard line of Lakeland, and now with no timeouts left, 6 seconds left, either a Hail Mary or a trick play of some kind of coming.
Hackey's receiver cut upfield, and he was supposed to cut to the side, and that's where his defender was, so it's a great play for Waddington.
And now a penalty flag, I think a delay of game.
Yep, that's exactly what they just signaled.
And that doesn't make it any easier. Instead of the 49, now that ball's going to be back at Lakeland's 44-yard line.
Well, you're right, but they've demonstrated that they can throw 30 yards, so it depends on who he throws to. If he can throw it 30, 35 yards and then run it 30 yards.
Yeah, right.
6 seconds, I mean, that's about all you got a choice for.
3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. An H-back in there and the running back Cornish. Suko back to pass. Going to step up and take off and run with it. Trying to get to the sideline, but time will expire. as Suko ends up running it for a gain of 7, and that is how the first half will end. A lot of turnovers, or should I say a lot of takeaways for both defenses. Low-scoring game, which is, I think, what Skyline's kind of used to. They've been in a lot of these low-scoring games this year.
These 14-point games that they're coming out on the wrong side of the game. So not to Skyline's advantage, and certainly I think that's 4 turnovers for Skyline in the first half, and that is a tough takeaway margin to play in state playoffs.
Absolutely. So at halftime, it is Lakeland 14, Skyline 7, the 11th seeded Hawks leading the 6th seeded Grizzlies here in this 4A opening round playoff matchup. We will be back with the halftime show right after this break. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho State Football postseason on IdahoSports.com.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
You've heard it before. There is no I in team, but there is an I in dairy. Dairy foods are a great source of protein, which is vital for helping rebuild and repair muscles after exercise, so your body can be at the top of its game at your next competition. So grab some milk, cheese, or yogurt after you work out, train, or play. Yes, it's true. There is no I in team, but there is an I in win. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide, Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. It's the recipe for success in any kind of sport, and dairy can be a key ingredient in every one of those steps. Dairy foods supply your body with high-quality protein to rebuild and repair muscle, carbohydrates to help you refuel, and fluid and electrolytes to help you rehydrate. So your personal recipe for greatness can be perform, win, repeat. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
It is halftime here at Holt Arena in Pocatello. Brandon Maney alongside Tim Belknap on IdahoSports.com. And at the halftime break, the Lakeland Hawks lead the Skyline Grizzlies 14-7 here in the 11 versus 6 matchup in the opening round of the Class 4A postseason. Well, Tim, this is certainly Lakeland fans and fans up north will tell you we knew that this team was good. Skyline fans, I think, are reeling a little bit with this halftime
Shell-shocked,
result.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Skyline coming into this game really feeling they played in such a tough conference, tough schedule, that they had this one. And that may have been the problem because they appear to have overlooked Lakeland, at least thus far into the game. And flat out just haven't executed. They're allowing the takeaways, the turnovers, the penalties. You can't win a game when you turn the ball over 4 times. At least it's hard to, let's put it that way.
Yeah, they had the one fumble that was recovered by Burcham for Lakeland, Mason Burcham, and then Lachlan Hackey has thrown 2 interceptions, right? He threw the interception to Thomas Calder, and then the pick to Alden Waddington in the end zone right before the end of the half. And then Skyline has come up with a takeaway of their own. Trey Olson has recovered the fumble, but they're still losing the turnover battle 3-1.
You know, and you ask any coach, if you can go into a game and get a 3-1 advantage in the takeaways or the turnovers, whatever you want to call them, you're going to win 9 times out of 10. That many, especially when Lakeland has had the ability to convert 2 of those turnovers into points, and thus the difference in the game, 14-7.
Absolutely. So Lakeland leading at halftime, 14-7 over Skyline. When we come back on the halftime show, we'll give you the first half stats. These are always unofficial, might be a yard or 2 off somewhere because I'm not a math major. I talk for a living. I don't crunch numbers.
Wait a minute. You were measuring those. It's got to be official. Had his tape measure out. He was trying to...
Yeah, anyone who knows me knows that I'm not the guy that's walking around with a tape measure at all times. I'm not that handy of a guy. So we'll take a break here from some of our sponsors. We'll come back with some of the halftime stats as Lakeland leads Skyline at halftime 14-7. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School Football Postseason on IdahoSports.com.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938, insured by NCUA.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Searching for a friendly, experienced insurance agency? Then look no further than Alta Insurance. Alta Insurance provides policies that are personalized to each client's needs by offering a wide range of products and companies to take care of your assets. Let one of our friendly and experienced agents take the time to sit down with you and understand your needs. Call or stop in today with offices in Idaho Falls and Twin Falls. Alta Insurance. It's not just about insurance.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
Welcome back to Holt Arena in Pocatello. It is halftime here in this Class 4A first-round playoff matchup. The 11th seeded Lakeland Hawks leading the 6th seeded Skyline Grizzlies, the defending 4A state champion Skyline Grizzlies, 14-7 at halftime. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Brandon Bainey alongside Tim Belknap. Let's take a look at the first half stats here, as unofficial as they are. For Lakeland in the first half, 93 yards through the air, 39 yards on the ground, a total of 132 yards of total offense. Compare that to Skyline, 41 yards on the ground, 58 through the air, 99 yards of total offense. So the defenses have come to play.
Yes, they have. And other than those turnovers that resulted in the 14 points for Lakeland, this has had a lot of defense. Just the right moments. It seems like one of these teams is moving the ball, and then they'll have a big play. Somebody will get a sack or an interception or a fumble, and much more offense than I think the score represents.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, it all started with that fumble on Skyline's first possession of the game. Mason Burcham recovered it around the 15-yard line, and from there, Devin Suko was able to run it in for a 3-yard score to make it 7-0 Lakeland with 5:54 to play in the opening quarter of action. And that was the score after one, 7-0 Lakeland. Moving on to the second quarter of play, a Thomas Calder interception with 35 seconds to play in the first quarter put Lakeland in pretty good position. And right as the second quarter started, 3 seconds into the second quarter, Devin Suko scored for the second time, this time from a yard out. And it was 14-0 Lakeland. Skyline didn't panic. They put together a drive.
I did. Does that matter? I was going to say, sorry.
No, you're
that
good.
Point, it was going to be an all Lakeland ball game, and Skyline was going to forget to come out. So.
Yeah, no, Skyline answered the call. They drove it downfield. It was a 4th and goal play at the 1. Kenyon Sadiq took the snap out of the Wildcat and just kind of jumped into the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown to make it 14-7, and then we kind of just traded turnovers as we got to halftime. So individually in the first half for Lakeland, Devin Suko 7 of 10 for 93 yards, no touchdowns but also no picks. Very efficient passing for Devin Suko. Rushing, John Cornish, 9 carries for 44 yards. That's a pretty good average. It's about 5 yards a pop.
That's about, how many yards did you say, 45?
44.
44, that's about 45 yards more than I could do.
And how about this, though? Devin Suko, 8 carries, minus 5 yards, 2 touchdowns. Because he's been sacked a couple of times.
That's right.
Yep.
I'd take it, though.
Yeah.
I'd take it if I'm the quarterback. He's had a great night.
Yeah.
He has really had a great night. He, made those 2 diving touchdowns to get the scores, but he has read that defense well. He really has.
Yeah, 7 of 10 passing, very accurate, 70% completion. Alden Waddington leading the way, 2 catches for 61 yards. Thomas Calder has 3 catches for 21 yards. And Richie Thomas, 2 catches for 11 yards. And now for Skyline. Lachlan Hackey, 6 of 9 passing, 41 yards, but 2 interceptions. That's really the big problem for Skyline right now. Receiver on the ground, Abron Silverio, 8 carries for 61 yards in that first half. Now, he got 31 of those on one carry.
Play, yeah.
But
look to see that change in the second half. We saw him kind of getting his groove as we ended that second quarter. I think that my prediction to start the game, that he is the key to the Skyline offense. we're going to see come to fruition in that second half.
Absolutely. So Silverio, 8 carries for 61 yards. Caden Taggart has 2 carries for 12 yards. Ian Galbraith, 2 carries for 0 yards. Lachlan Hackey has 3 carries for minus 16 yards. And look at this Jerome Bettis stat line. Kenyon Sadiq, 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown.
Take it. How did he get 1 yard? He got knocked for a loss on a couple of plays then, right?
Well, so this is Kenyon Sadiq. He just took the 1 snap in the Wildcat.
I'm thinking of catching and receiving. Yeah, I'm sorry, receiving.
So one carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown for Sadiq.
I don't know if I'd put him in the Jerome Bettis category. He's taller and lankier than Jerome Bettis. I mean, Jerome's a freight train.
But Jerome would have those games where it was like 5 carries for 5 yards and 2 touchdowns down near the goal line. Kenyon Sadiq leading the way with 4 receptions for 33 yards, and Caden Taggart has 2 catches for 8 yards. So as we get into the second half here, Tim, if you are Skyline, how do you get back in this one?
You get Silverio taking that, and he doesn't usually go straight up the middle. He usually goes off guard. And you get him involved in that pounded out rush game. I probably would take him off tackle on a couple of plays because they know he's coming to the middle. So you get him to do that. That's going to open up that passing game. Go back to what worked for them last week against Shelley, where they sent Caden Taggart into some great spots on a decoy off of Sadiq. They dropped into double coverage on Sadiq, left Taggart single coverage, and Taggart pulled on 2 touchdowns. That was what was working for them in the first half of last week's game. It didn't work for them so much. Shelley came back and almost beat them because they went away from that game. So let's go back to that game. Silverio going off tackle, maybe a run or 2 up the middle, open it up so you have room to throw at Sadiq or Taggart.
And if you're Lakeland, how do you maintain the lead?
Lakeland, you continue to disrupt that offense. Frankly, you put a headhunter on Silverio. You don't. That's your play. I don't care what he's doing. If he has the ball, you make sure that he's hit. You're right. You don't give it up, and you continue. Frankly, I think to bring pressure in on Hackey. Hackey throwing 2 interceptions has proven that can shake him up a little bit with some pressure.
Opening kickoff in the second half, a line drive taken at the 5-yard line.
Galbraith.
By Galbraith as he is trying to break it to the outside, and he's brought down by Thomas Calder at the 25-yard line.
He should have stayed with his original drive. He tried to hit and then pop out to the sideline, and he lost 3 yards he had already gained.
Yeah. For Lakeland in the second half, too, I think a big key is continue to get your athletes in space, right? We've seen John Cornish on the perimeter. We've seen Alden Waddington one-on-one. Let your athletes keep winning those one-on-one matchups.
Just keep giving the ball to Cornish. My goodness, 10 yards at a pop. If I'm Lakeland, that's my whole second half until he starts getting tired, and then maybe throw a few.
1st and 10 for Skyline from their own 28. They will start with a handoff into the teeth of that Lakeland defense. Silverio on the carry, only a gain of 2. In on the stop for Lakeland, crashing in that time was Elijah Sint, junior defensive end.
Interesting that Silverio had that ball so quick, he literally ran into the back of his own lineman, trying to make a hole there. Lakeland, what a great defense. Again, Skyline's got to come out. They've got to move those smaller defenders to make a difference in this game.
So they actually said no gain on that carry for Silverio. Now on 2nd and 10, this is another handoff inside for Abron Silverio, and he'll take it across the 30 to the 31.
Nice gain, but they needed that in the first carry, not the second. Now it sets them up at 3rd and 7. And Silverio, I think, probably good for 3 to 4 yards. 7's a throwing play, and don't throw into double coverage, Hackey.
Well, this is where Lakeland can pin their ears back too. They play a 3-4, right? They only have 3 down linemen, which means they can blitz from a number of different looks.
And they look to bring a linebacker in.
And Kenyon Sadiq with the false start out on the perimeter on that far side of the formation. We should mention Skyline working right to left here in your 3rd quarter of play.
Boy, it's too bad Sadiq did that because Lakeland was offsides.
Yep.
Outside of, they weren't paying attention to Sadiq. Lakeland well into that neutral zone, and they would have had the 5-yard penalty set Skyline up a lot better than a 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12.
We didn't really talk about this. The turnovers have hurt Skyline, but so have the penalties. They've been getting penalties at bad times.
Yeah, I think the first game I called for Skyline against Blackfoot, where Blackfoot beat them, Skyline had 150 yards of penalties. Definitely the difference in the game. He's picked off again! Oh, my goodness.
At the 40-yard line, it went off the hands of the intended receiver on the near side, and Alden Waddington with his second interception, but a penalty flag in the backfield as well. We'll have to see what the call is here.
Backfield, that's probably going to go against Skyline and Lakeland. They'll decline that.
It went off the hands of Caden Taggart. They were trying to throw it to Taggart on the near sideline. It went off his hands, and Alden Waddington with the diving interception at the 40.
All for naught, because they're going to call Lakeland for roughing the passers. They drove Hackey into the ground after he released, and maybe that's why the pass wasn't on the money.
Could be.
He got hit hard, but wow, that takes a little bit of air out of your sails if you're Lakeland, because that turnover number, I think it's 4, did you say? 4? That's hard to overcome. And now Skyline with a new set of downs, 1st and 10.
A new lease on life.
Well said. Well said.
1st and 10 for Skyline from their own 43. It's going to be a middle screen. They're going to float it out to Silverio, caught at the 40, out to the 45, and smacked out of bounds that time by
Calder.
Thomas Calder.
And he was very close, already out of bounds. I'm glad he didn't, because it was a very close, hard to call, but close enough that could have easily been a late hit. So another thing you don't want to have is penalties starting to stack up against you, like that last roughing the passer call that gave Skyline a new set of downs.
Absolutely. So Silverio, a gain of 2 on the screen pass, 2nd and 8 from their own 45. Handoff to Silverio, breaking it outside. The 50, the 45, the 40, tiptoeing the near sideline. They'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Wow. He was a half a step away from breaking that. Sint? Elijah Sint.
Yeah.
Reached up and with really his fingernails pushed him out of bounds, or he'd have been gone, I think. So saved a bigger play than the play that resulted there. But Silverio showing those wheels that we've only seen thus far from Cornish on the other side of the ball.
Gain of 13 for Silverio on that last carry. 1st and 10 for Skyline from the Lakeland 42. They will hand off to Silverio again up the left side, and this time only a yard, as 4 Lakeland Hawks were in there to stop him defensively. Cornish was in there, and also comboing on the tackle was Mason Burcham.
You know, Brandon, and of course we have the advantage of being up here and seeing the play as it unfolds, but they faked that handoff, a jet sweep up to Taggart, and Taggart was literally one defender. I mean, man-to-man, they were seeing that as Silverio all the way. If they'd have gone with Taggart, easy first down, if not more. This right there, what they just did right now.
5 wide, Taggart in motion on the fly sweep. Will take it to the 35 and down to the 34, where it'll be 4th and short.
That was a great play. If they'd have done that play before, see if they just listen to me. They should tune into the game here at IdahoSports.com.
Right.
Have one of the coaching staff phoning that in.
7 yards for Taggart on the sweep. Makes it 3rd and 2. I mistakenly said 4th and 2. It's 3rd and 2 now for Skyline. Ball is at the Lakeland 34-yard line. They've got to get to the 32 to pick up this first down.
This is pretty important. 3rd down, it's certainly in 4-down territory, but Skyline needing to pick up a first down here and show that they're taking it. And Silverio's going to take that up the middle, and he'll get the first down and then some.
Across the 30 to the 29. That is a gain of 5 for Abron Silverio, and a first down for Skyline. We're down to 8:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. Lakeland holding on to that 14-7 lead, but Skyline on the move. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies with the ball at the Lakeland 28-yard line.
Here's an interesting thing. I just watched Silverio pull himself out of the game. I don't know if that means he's carrying the ball too much or he took a hit that maybe he needed to stretch out. I'm watching him on the sidelines, and he's not showing anything other than he just needed a breather.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much gotten the ball the last 3-4 plays.
So without him in there, what do you do?
Well, you hand off to the backup. This is up the middle, and that is Hamilton Woodruff on the carry.
He's no Silverio.
And now Woodruff kind of comes up gingerly off that
He's
play.
gimping out of the game now.
So 1 carry for Woodruff for a gain of 1, and it's 2nd down and 9 for Skyline.
I'm just trying to see it. Did Silverio go back in when Woodruff came out? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's back in there now. Abron Silverio is. He's in.
Oh, yep, you're right.
In the backfield. So
I was going to say, I can't imagine they'd put a third stringer in with the game right here where it's at now.
I think they just put Sadiq back there and let him do his thing, right?
Probably. Good point. Taggart could take the ball from Wildcat as well. Galbraith.
In trouble. Hackey sacked. Back
Wow,
at the
guess who it is?
33-yard line.
Was that? It looked like that was Botcher again?
Yeah, Jack Betcher in on that sack. So that is a loss of 5, and it's now 3rd and 14.
Boy, just when Skyline's getting it together, really no chance for that play to develop as Hackey dropped back, and that pocket just almost immediate collapsed on him. Good move by Hackey to pull that ball in and not lose it and not try to force a pass that could have been easily picked off. So maybe he learned something at halftime.
That's right. 6.5 to play in the third. 3rd and 14 for Skyline. Hackey hit as he throws over the middle. Too high, incomplete. Bringing the pressure that time was Jackson Lutz. And Hackey was clobbered as he threw that, but it was while he still had the ball in his hands. So 4th down.
And he sat there for a minute. You know he felt that. And so for Lutz, great move, because that means next time Hackey drops back, he's going to remember that. And if he hears steps, makes you a little flinchy. I don't know how, it's not a really professional word, but it's accurate.
I like it, flinchy. Well, 4th down and 14. Skyline's going to go for it. Ball is at the Lakeland 32-yard line. They have to get to the 18 to pick up the 1st down. It is 3 receivers bunched to the left, single receiver to the right is Sadiq, and that's the way that Hackey's looking all the way. Throws it high, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Sadiq, and again, double coverage, and he went to him. He knew as soon as he snapped that ball, he was going to Sadiq.
See, that's the problem. He was telegraphing it the whole time, too. And not just double coverage. There was a third coverage man about 3 steps off of those other 2. And what that tells me is somewhere somebody was wide open. I didn't see it because I was watching where we knew the ball was going to go. But down here on the short end of the field, there had to be a Skyline receiver who was wide open. And they've got to start looking for that again, that decoy man that's worked for them in past games. And they got to make that happen down here.
Turnover on downs for the Lakeland defense. 1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 32. Suko in trouble, and he's sacked back at the 28. Started as a play downfield and ultimately wrapped up by Alex Cortez, the big senior. And that's a loss of 4 or
Trevor
3.
Barbini, I think, for the Grizzlies, also in on that. Yeah. He helped turn it in so that they would actually go down. So that is a huge loss on the play for the Hawks in what has been one of the few losses, frankly.
Yeah, that's right. The offensive line's did a great job for Lakeland tonight. 2nd and 13 for the Hawks from their own 29, working left to right here in this 3rd quarter. 5:40 to play in the period. Screen pass for Alden Waddington. Caught but met right away by a couple of Grizzly defenders. And again, they're all flexing, but I'll tell you, you're losing in a playoff game. Maybe save that stuff for when you're actually, leading.
You know what? I got to agree. Great play. Alex Cortez and Keanu Kishiyama. Good play, but don't get up and flex until you have the lead. Tie it up and then get the lead and then do some flexing. But right now the Hawks having reason to just say, hey, scoreboard, dude.
Loss of a yard. Suko, 3rd and 14. Sacked again, back at the 20.
Wow. Look at who that is again. That's 56. Keanu having a game tonight. The last 3 plays, Kishiyama being on every play, and the last 3 plays, all for a loss.
Yes.
So maybe that's the secret to the game, is Kishiyama doing whatever he's doing. Keep doing it if you're Skyline. If you're Lakeland, find a way to answer.
Yeah, that is a loss of 9 on the sack. 4th and 22. Alden Waddington will punt from his own 5-yard line. And 2 men back deep to return. Low snap. Now Waddington's just going to take off and do a rollout kick. That was partially deflected. Will take a Lakeland bounce across the 50, and boy, I would have let that keep rolling, but it was down at the 49. But now a penalty flag on the far side. Waddington might have gotten interfered with as he tried to get that kickoff as he was rolling out. We may have a running into the kicker situation.
I think they roughed him. He got the kick off, but he went down. I didn't see the continuation of the play, but he's limping. He was on one knee. Running into the kicker may be the best option. If it's roughing the kicker, Skyline blowing another chance.
This is, I know up north in Rathdrum, there's a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans, and the Seahawks were playing the Rams a couple weeks ago, and their punter did that for Seattle. It was a low snap. He rolled out and tried to punt it. So it is against
Lakeland.
So not a penalty against Skyline. And maybe
it was a sideline warning is what it was.
Well, Coach Kiefer, I think, was out there trying to say, hey, my guy got roughed up. But
I think you're right. Yeah. He's lucky that's all he got because he was out on the field and he is still heated. Wisely, now he goes after him again.
Pleading his case and ultimately won't win the argument. So now we're talking about, that bad snap. Waddington did a good job just to get the punt off.
You know what? That should have been down, clear down here in the red zone for the Grizzlies. So to get it at the midfield, great execution, really, in a bad situation by Lakeland.
1st and 10 for Skyline. A ball right at the 50-yard line. Abron Silverio carrying it across the 45 down to the 44 for a gain of 6 on first down.
Just take a minute to do a shout-out to our power boosters for the game. For the Lakeland Hawks, it's Knutson Chevrolet. For the Grizzlies, Rockwell Homes, MVP Reynolds, Teton Auto Group, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, All Things Automotive, and Conan Heating and Air Conditioning. Trying to get those in fast, and I say them wrong.
2nd and 4 and a false start now against Skyline. So instead of 2nd and 4, backing up 5 yards, 2nd and 9 with 3:42 to play here in the third, and Lakeland leading 14-7.
Skyline has got to not make these mistakes. I don't know how many yards of penalties this is, but this has got to be close to 80 yards of penalties for Skyline. You can't give up that much offense and expect to win a state championship playoff game.
Well, just worry about the first round at this point because you're losing 14-7, and all the penalties are coming at bad time. Every time they start getting momentum, a penalty just kills it.
It reminds me of my beloved BYU Cougars. They seem to do that on a regular basis.
2nd and 9. Hackey in trouble. Now we'll take off and run, and we'll pick up a gain of 2 or 3. Good backside pursuit that time from Lakeland, and closing in to make the stop was Mason Burcham.
Now, see, this is interesting because that's really the first time that Hackey has pulled it in and run up the middle. All the other times he's been taken down. And Lakeland, different scenario. When they've been rushed and that pocket's collapsed, you've seen Suko take that ball and run it. And how many yards did you say he had? 45 yards rushing?
That was Cornish. Suko's got minus because he's been sacked several times.
But he has run on those times, and that has really makes him play back a little bit on collapsing that pocket.
3rd and 7 from the 47. Hackey firing deep. It is caught on the near sideline at the 37-yard line. That's a nice reception by Ethan Nottestad.
Nottestad, what a catch. I thought for sure he was out of bounds. And, he should ballet dance because he got those tippy toes in there in a pirouette almost.
On the near sideline, yeah. Nottestad, his first catch of the night. 1st and 10 for Skyline. Ball at the Lakeland 37. Handoff to Silverio up the middle, across the 35, down around the 34.
He was caught a yard into that play and still picked up 5 yards. Spinning and just moving. That's the Silverio that I've seen most of the season. Be interesting to see if they can keep him moving this ball. They moved that whole last series all the way down the field and then gave up the ball and didn't score. They've got to get some of these in the end zone now.
1:55 to play in the third quarter. 14-7. Lakeland leading. It's going to be a screen pass caught, but a big pop delivered by Alden Waddington at the 35-yard line as he introduces himself to Silverio.
Waddington having the game. I don't know if this kid has had games like this all season.
Yes, he has.
But holy cow. Uh-oh, now when a flag flies as the Skyline sideline having some conversations with the officials.
Okay, we'll see what the flag is here. That lost a yard on that play to Silverio. So we will see what the call is here. It looks like it's going to be against Skyline. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Grizzlies.
On the sideline. So that's the coaching staff, and that means that someone down there is exchanging pleasantries that weren't so pleasant.
Yes. And I'm wondering if it's because they're out on the field. the sideline warning was given to Lakeland. Now, Skyline, I think, should get their own sideline warning.
I looked like the offensive coordinator was down there. He didn't like the hit that Waddington put.
That was a good, clean hit.
I thought it was from here, but I think he was saying that he drove him into the ground helmet first.
Okay.
And he's probably just trying to protect Savario.
Right.
You know, that's your star. You want to, but or it could be that it's 3rd and 21.
Yes. A lot of frustrations for Skyline tonight. 3rd and 21 from the 48 of Lakeland. Little jump pass over the middle, caught by Sadiq at the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30, and he gets a block, and will take it into the end zone for a 48-yard potential game-tying touchdown.
Wow, that's huge, Brandon. He took that really at the 45. You called it. But he had an entire line. That's the first time I think I've seen this season any team execute that screen with such precision. He literally just followed it until he found a seam and up the middle, evaded a tackler, and went into the end zone for the touchdown.
And now the game-tying extra point potentially from DeMott. It is through.
Now we're back to 1 quarter of play. We got 1 minute, 14 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and that means the 4th quarter, whoever shows up doesn't turn it over, doesn't get the penalties, they're going to sneak out of here with a win. And both sides, I'm sure, feeling that they can do it because both of them have had movement in this second half. Skyline, the only one thus far being able to capitalize on the scoring plays, but definitely Lakeland having their own moments of excellence, frankly.
Yes.
They've moved the ball well, just haven't scored.
That was a 48-yard touchdown for Lachlan Hackey to Kenyon Sadiq. Lakeland kind of got caught out in the wash and out of position a little bit, and Sadiq was able to take that, caught it at the 45, and took it, the rest of the way. It's almost like in the NFL on 3rd and long where a coach will call a screen pass just to get some breathing room. I don't think they were designing that to be a touchdown. I think they just wanted some breathing room and a more manageable 4th down, and Sadiq said, oh, hey, I got this.
You know what? That was absolutely nothing more than a first down. They set that up for the first down.
Yeah.
You saw where the play developed right here at the 45. They were expecting to take it to the 35. The touchdown, just a plus.
So DeMott to kick off now for Skyline. It will go into the end zone for a touchback. And now the question is, with 1:14 to play in the 3rd, tied at 14, how does Lakeland answer the call? This is the first time that they have not had the lead since we kicked off, basically. I mean, they've had the lead early in the 1st quarter, and they've led all the way up until this point. So now it's how do the Hawks respond?
They respond how they've played this game. You give the ball to Cornish. That kid, maybe he doesn't get 10 yards every carry, but he had, what'd you say, 9 carries for 45
yards. He hasn't gotten the ball yet in this second half.
And that's what needs to happen, and now he does get the ball.
Cornish riding his hog molly out on the left side, put his hand on the back of his pulling guard that time, and leading the way there was, want to make sure I'm looking at the right roster, Sam Kaplan. So
you know what? That is how you see that play taught. You put your hand on your blocking lineman and follow him.
Yep.
And got him 5 yards.
2nd and 5 for Lakeland from their own 25. Another read option play, and Suko late to pull it out, and he gets blown up. Skyline's going to drop him for a 2-yard loss. Those read option plays, there's an art to it, and Suko, I thought, held on to it too long that time.
He did.
Could have given it to Cornish.
I'm trying to see who had that. Jake Murdoch and Alex Cortez, both of them in on that play. Again, stood up with a flex. Now, the score's tied, so maybe a little more feasibility of the flex.
Yeah, sure.
I'm telling Skyline still get the lead before they flex.
Right. 15 seconds to play in the 3rd. Lakeland may get one more play here. 3rd and 5 from their own 25, and movement on both sides. I think Lakeland might have moved first. We'll see.
Everybody tough to say. They were, you're right, pointing at each other.
Yeah. He started it.
Yeah. Reminds me of my kids when they were growing up. It's always he started it.
That's right. I think this is going to go.
They're trying to, the officials having a confab there because they're not sure who went first.
And they're telling Skyline to back up because Skyline players were trying to influence the outcome there.
Yeah, you're right. And interesting enough, Lakeland was backing up like they were expecting the penalty.
Right.
So, they're having to talk about it. So not a clear-cut outcome. to that penalty.
And it will be against Lakeland.
Interesting, as the head official did not signal anything. They just moved the ball. That's unusual.
Yeah. False start against Lakeland. So 3rd and 10 now, and that's the end of the third quarter as the clock runs. So 3 quarters in the books. Right back where we started this thing, all knotted up, 14 apiece. What an opener in the 4A postseason.
Hey, folks, this is why you pay the big money to listen to this broadcast.
Absolutely. Let's thank some more of our sponsors, Tim, while we got a moment.
All right. Lakeland Super One Foods. At Super One Foods, compromise is not an option. We set the standard, number 1. And we have lower prices. Number 2, we make your dollar stretch further. You visit any Super One Foods in Rathdrum, Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Sandpoint, or Bonners Ferry, and you'll see we set the standard. Go Hawks. Also, Thompson, Holman, Weiler, they've served East Idaho for over 25 years. The law firm offers extensive experience in a wide range of legal services and represents a broad range of clients, from local individuals to international corporations. They realize how important a client's case is to them individually, and they represent them as if it were them representing it. They strive to give that attention, and no matter the size, if you need an attorney, call Michael White at Thompson, Holman, Weiler today at 208-522-1230, or visit their website at www.thwlaw.com. That's Thompson, Holman, Weiler. They're proud to support the Skyline Grizzlies and wish them good luck in tonight's game.
Start of the fourth quarter, we have flipped the field. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lakeland. From their own 20-yard line, they're now working right to left in this 4th and final quarter. Suko back to pass, floats it. And a penalty flag will come into the secondary for pass interference. They were trying to go to Thomas Calder on the out route. Galbraith was there with the coverage, but he'll be called for pass interference.
Interesting, the official was right in front of that play. He called it no catch. He didn't throw a flag. The back official did. He must have seen some contact as he made that cut and turned upfield. There must have been a hold. It's about the only thing it could have been.
So we'll mark off that penalty yardage. That is another big penalty against the Grizzlies, because that will give the Lakeland Hawks a first down. And you can hear the boo birds from Skyline raining down here in the cavernous Holt Arena, right?
You know what? When Skyline's had as many penalties as they have, they cannot boo bird.
Yeah, right. 1st and 10.
Fumble!
Ball came out. Skyline recovers.
Oh my goodness! Try to see who that is. That's 15. You know who that is? Farnsworth.
That's the Joker. Isaac Farnsworth.
That's your man. Oh, what a great fumble recovery, and that really just a bad exchange. That was all it was between the quarterback and Cornish trying to get the ball. Just a tough break for the Hawks, and the Grizzlies saying that's what we need now to keep momentum on our side after that big penalty.
That read option has been off tonight for Lakeland, and now they'll hand up the middle to Silverio, and he gets crunched after a gain of just 2. In on the tackle for Lakeland that time was Connor Moore.
Cornish there too. Did you see that?
Yes, yeah. And you have to wonder if the depth is starting to affect Lakeland, right? They've got so many guys going both ways. Skyline has really grabbed the momentum in this game.
Well, Cornish still calling his name on both sides, so at least for him, of course, he hasn't had the yardage that he did in the first half, so maybe he is getting a little tired, but with 1 quarter to go, I don't care how much gas you have left in the tank, you go all out. Lakeland throws out to Taggart, and a great pass, but he just let him. 2 yards too deep, pass will fall incomplete.
And now all of a sudden, very quickly, a 3rd and 9 for Skyline with the ball at the Lakeland 36-yard line.
Skyline has to move this ball. They've got to get the first down. I'm not calling for that to go for a touchdown like they did last play with that screen set up with Sadiq, but they've got to take a receiver down 10 yards and pick up that first down if they want to keep this game on their side of the momentum.
11-11 to play. A big 3rd and 9 coming up here for Skyline. Ball is at the Lakeland 35-yard line. 3 receivers bunched to the right, single receiver to the left. Hackey has time, going deep for Sadiq, has a step, and a penalty flag.
Oh! Wow, that pass was not catchable by Sadiq. So the question is, was Sadiq held on to and slowed down?
Yes.
Gotta be.
That was Richie Thomas in coverage, and Thomas kind of fell to a knee and kind of grabbed at Sadiq, and that's a big penalty against the Hawks in the secondary.
On a third down that, well, Sadiq's got the wheels. He might have been able to get under that if he's not interfered with, but I'm not sure he could have.
No, I agree. I think a step off. But new life for Skyline following that pass interference penalty. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Ball now at the Lakeland 21-yard line with 11:03 to play.
I'm not sure if that's taunting or good sportsmanship, as Sadiq, put his arm around Richie there.
I think that's good, just respect.
I hope he wasn't saying thank you.
No, I don't think so. 1st and 10 from the Lakeland 21. Handoff to Silverio, dancing too much in the backfield and only able to get a yard because of it. In on the tackle was Jack Betcher for Lakeland.
Great job of Lakeland of reading that because Silverio was looking for his blockers. He was kind of stutter stepping, waiting for his blockers to punch a hole, and Lakeland just caved in, didn't give them that option, and so he only got 1 yard on what probably is normally a 5-yard gain.
Right. So 2nd and 9 for Skyline, ball at the Lakeland 20. Hand off to Silverio looking for the sweep. He's got blockers to the 15, cuts inside to the 10, and takes it down to the 8-yard line. A gain of 12 and a first down.
That's a great call. They've been pounding Silverio up the middle, and he's only been getting a yard every time. You run him around that corner, and look what happens. They take it down to the 8-yard line, sets up 1st and goal from the 8 for the Grizzlies and the momentum.
Yes, 10-15 and counting in this 4th quarter. We are tied at 14, but maybe not for long if Skyline can figure it out here on 1st and goal from the 8. Hackey out of the shotgun, a back on either side. Silverio gets the call up the middle and down to the 6, a gain of 2.
Well, so now the question remains to be asked. They're on the hash mark here at the 6. Is that what they'll call it?
I think they're going to actually put it at the 7.
Yeah, I think you're right.
A gain of 1.
You got a lot of field at the top of that field, if you will.
And the far side, right?
Far
the
side.
Left side.
Thank you. Gosh, I was stuttering there. The sweep, taking that in, just worked for him with Silverio. They went on the short field, but with all the daylight up there on that far side.
Look at this, Silverio split out wide as the wide receiver on the left side. They will toss it to Taggart off the left side. Taggart stumbling inside the 5, taking it down to about the 3.
Well, they're listening to me, so I'm grateful that the coaches have the IdahoSports.com game stream going down on the sidelines, because that's exactly what they did. Pitched it out to Taggart. Taggart, he cut up field. He saw what he needed to see. I kind of think that if he'd have kept going, he had the angle to get the touchdown. But, again, I have the benefit of a number of stories between me and the field.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of stairs. It is 3rd and goal from the 3 for Skyline. 8:50 to play in this ball game. Tied at 14. I formation, faking the toss. Hackey back to pass to the end zone. It's caught by Kenyon Sadiq in the right corner, the short corner of the end zone for a 3-yard touchdown.
That's when it pays to have a receiver like Kenyon Sadiq, as Sadiq in his height and athletic ability, the pass not exactly there, and Sadiq makes the climb up the stairs, if you will, grabs the pass, and comes down with it, keeps control, gets the touchdown. That's painful for the Hawks. Very painful.
Set up on the turnover, right, on the fumble, and DeMott's PAT is through, so 21-14, Skyline, a 3-yard touchdown pass from Hackey to Sadiq.
Now, interesting, Brandon, the game plan that Lakeland was utilizing in the first half that gave them that 14-point lead was on turnovers, and at least that lead was taken by the Grizzlies on exactly the same thing, a turnover.
Yes. We've come full circle now. Now, 8:41 to play. Skyline leading for the first time all night.
But they have the momentum. Now the question really is going to become, with the momentum, does that gas Lakeland a little bit with their players going both sides, and a little bit of downtime for lack. I mean, they're not up, or at least tied for the first time this game. You got to worry about where they're at mentally, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Lakeland's had enough. John Cornish standing back at the 5-yard line ready to return this kick for Lakeland.
Well, and if you're Skyline, kick away from Cornish.
I mean, DeMott's got a good leg. It'll probably go into the end zone regardless. We'll see.
Nope. Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it goes, clears the end zone by a bit.
Good call.
Here's the key for Lakeland. In the first half, John Cornish, 9 carries, 44 yards. In the second half, 1 carry, 5 yards. That's it.
You know what? And remember what I said when you asked me what does Lakeland have to do? Keep giving it to Cornish. 1 carry, 5 yards. Take that all night long. Does 2 things. Moves it. He might not get 5 yards every time, but there's been a couple of plays where he got 10, 11, 12. But it keeps the clock going. And if it takes him 6 minutes to go the length of the field and score and tie the game up, that doesn't give Skyline a lot of time to counteract, and at least you take it into overtime.
That's right. 1st and 10 for Lakeland from their own 20, working right to left here in this fourth quarter. They'll start with a jet sweep to Thomas Calder, cutting it up to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5 on first down.
That's a great play. 5 yards. Like I said, 5 yards at a time. Eat it up. Great clock management. And frankly, Lakeland has proven that they can execute the 5-yard play effectively most of this game.
Very much so. 2nd and 5 for Lakeland from their own 25. 8:15 to play in this ball game, trailing 21-14. Suko back to pass, throws it in the flat on the right side, caught by Cornish. Penalty flags come out as Cornish takes it to the 28. I think we're going to get an illegal block here against Lakeland.
Yeah, Johnny Basic on that corner. He had the play. He turned it in. No, that's not Basic. That's Chandler Robinson. Excuse me, saw the wrong number. Robinson had the angle and the sack, really, and his defender not wanting to give that up pulled him down.
Yep, so holding call against Lakeland, and that will move it back to the 16-yard line where it's going to be first down and...
Second down.
Second down and 14.
But it's only second, not third. Third, that's back-breaking. Second, you got plenty of time for your offense to pull it together.
Cornish up the middle across the 20 to the 21. And what do you know? That is
6, 7 yards?
Yeah.
So what'd I say? Start listening. The Lakeland coaches need to turn on the game stream from IdahoSports.com and start listening too. We're calling it up here, Brendan.
That's right. We are geniuses.
In our own minds.
And again, it's they've been trying to get the ball to Cornish. They've been doing that read option stuff where Suko's been keeping it. And so just some straight ahead handoffs to Cornish could be a good formula. 3rd and 9 for Lakeland from the 21. Oh,
picked off!
It's intercepted! It's the Joker! Isaac Farnsworth into the end zone for the touchdown!
The Joker's not joking right now. That's for real! Skyline just takes a 2-touchdown advantage over the Lakeland Hawks in a turnover.
Yep.
The offense on both sides has been mostly turnover related.
Joker's wild tonight.
Literally.
That is
Skyline, what a great turn of events. If you're a Skyline Grizzly, if you're a Lakeland Hawk, you're trying to figure out what just happened.
That is a 20-yard pick 6 for Isaac Farnsworth. They call him Joker. And 27-14. Skyline has flipped this game on its head with 7:15 to play.
Hey, folks, it's high school football playoffs in the state of Idaho. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. DeMott's kick is through. So 28-14. Skyline with 7:15 to play in this ball game.
Okay, remember when I talked about momentum, Brandon? Skyline having it on their side. Lakeland was chipping away at it. You know, you give that ball to Cornish, he gets 5 yards. You give it to Calder, he picked up 7 yards. If it hadn't been for that penalty, really, Lakeland's down here at midfield, continuing to push, eat up that clock. But then that penalty happens, and then the pick 6. That's tough. That's tough. With 7 minutes to go, that means you've got to score twice. That's a tough order when Lakeland hasn't scored in this half yet.
Yep, and Lakeland is capable of the big play. Last week in that loss to Sandpoint, John Cornish did rip off an 80-yard touchdown run.
Did he?
In pretty short order. So,
all right.
Lakeland's not out of it yet. And the way their defense has been playing, the Lakeland defense has been really solid tonight.
Actually, very solid. Very.
It's been the turnovers putting them in bad positions.
That was a great turnover because Farnsworth just reached up and kind of caught it with his fingertips and curled it in. Yeah. I mean, one-handed catch. Folks, if we were on video, we'd send that into ESPN for the highlight of the week.
That's right.
Unfortunately, we're not. We're just
audio
on audio.
only. That's all right, though. I feel like we adequately described the
excitement, maybe.
Absolutely.
Brandon did a great job of taking that excitement in. I'm over here going, oh my gosh, what do I say?
Sometimes it just leaves you speechless. There's been a number of those plays tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
1st and 10 for Lakeland from their own 20. They got to get to work down 28-14 with 7:13 to play in this ballgame. Suko out of the gun. We'll start with a handoff to Cornish off the right side and close to 5 yards out to the 25-yard line.
You know, Brandon, it's been such a great game. I didn't pay any attention. It's 11:15. It's the late game here, folks, with us. We hope you're enjoying staying up. We know you folks up north, it's only 9:45, so no big deal.
Yeah, whatever.
But the folks here in southeast Idaho, they're laying in bed listening to this broadcast.
That's right. Well, we saved the best for last, I think.
Yes. Well, if you're a Skyline Grizz, you feel that way. Lakeland trying to answer and show that it's the playoffs. Anybody's team, any night, they can do it.
Taking a lot of time here. It's going to be a halfback pass. Thomas Calder throwing too low, incomplete. They were trying to go up that far sideline to Richie Thomas. They gave it to Calder out of the slot, and then it was going to be a halfback pass, but it falls short.
You know, that was a great call. They should do that again. Robinson was in man-to-man coverage, and I'm paying attention. Robinson and the official having some words. No flag was thrown, but the official not liking something that Robinson did. He needs to be careful. Make sure that he's not on the bad side of the official with the score being what it is.
3rd and 5. Suko going to take off and run, but he's caught from behind. Brought down on the play, and more flexing from Skyline, and this time it's earned. And in on that stop for Skyline was Johnny Basic again.
Johnny, you know, what worked for Johnny is that Trey Olson got a hold of Suko and was able to slow him down. Johnny just took him down. Johnny, congratulations, having a great time. Great time. Your mom and dad listening up tonight up in, well, maybe dad, I don't know about mom, up in Coeur d'Alene State Volleyball Tournament up there.
That's right, Skyline advancing to state volleyball for the first time since 2006. Lakeland, the defending 4A champs, got upset by Moscow in 5 sets.
Shocker.
Lakeland led by 8 points in that 5th set, and Moscow rattled off an 8-0 run to close it out and knock out Lakeland. So
Lakeland always good for volleyball. You know, I PA announced for Bonneville. They always are known as a tradition, and Lakeland and Sandpoint always giving them grief.
Here's a good punt return by Galbraith all the way from his own 35 up to the Lakeland 40. That is a punt return of 25 yards with 5:25 to play. So, yeah, just wrapping up our volleyball talk. There's going to be a new champion in 4A this year.
Yep.
Good opportunity for Bonneville, certainly.
Well, certainly I'd like to see that, but there's a lot of good volleyball out there.
Yeah.
The reason that Lakeland got upset is because, you know, there's a standard, and then there's tough competition. And right now, there's a lot of tough competition. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out of the pack, really.
4A volleyball, kind of like 4A football. Wide open, anybody's game, anybody can win on any given night.
And that's what makes it fun,
Yeah.
really. It's high school sports.
No doubt. 1st and 10 for Skyline from the Lakeland 44. They will hand off to Silverio on a draw play up to the 35-yard line for a gain of 4. And now if you're Skyline, you just want to take the air out of the ball a little bit here. We're down to 5:10 to play.
We're not playing deflate the gate. We literally don't want to take any air out of the ball. We want to take the air out of the Lakeland Hawks so you can run the ball and eat the clock.
Right.
Tom Brady not playing for the Grizzlies.
Yes. Boy, that would be the all-time. 2nd and 6 for Skyline. 4:50 to play. Another sweep play, this time to Silverio off the edge, staying in bounds across the 30, down to the 28, a gain of 7 and a first down.
Silverio, what a great move. It really probably would have been good for 5, but he stuttered step, cut back upfield, picked up another 5, and keeps the chains moving. And the clock stopped because they did move the chains, but should start here and then now it starts. So,
yeah, boy, Lakeland had to punt that ball away with about 5.5 minutes to go, and I got a bad feeling now that Skyline's just going to be able to really run this thing down.
Well, you know, Skyline's going to go into clock management. Anybody who knows the coaching staff at Skyline knows that they're going to eat that thing up. They're going to just pound it. They've got the running game to do so. Oof.
Penalty flag comes in on this play as Silverio is able to take it from the 27 up to the 25-yard line for a gain of 2, but penalty flag thrown back at the 30 in the backfield.
Certainly a holding area. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
So a holding call against the Grizz, and that's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And again, we talk about it. Skyline's getting some momentum, starting to run the rock pretty well, and here's the penalty.
That's putting them well over 100 yards in penalties for the night. To have the lead with 4 turnovers and 100 yards in penalties, they're very, very fortunate. They've got to be able to, if they're able to pull off this win, they've got to fix that before next week.
Yeah, it's not going to fly in the quarterfinals. It is first down and 20, trying to throw it to Silverio on an out route, and again, feeling the heat. Nice sign of mutual respect there as Hackey got planted into the turf by Lakeland's Jackson Lutz, and Lutz helps him up and gives him a pat on the back and says, hey, you're doing pretty good out there tonight.
I think Hackey wanted to have a few words with the head official as he rolled out to the right side. He was literally stopped in his motion because the head official didn't move. And he kind of bumped into him, allowing that sack. But you know what? He's part of the field.
What are you going to do?
Hey, that's right.
2nd and 23 for Skyline. That incomplete pass stopped the clock with 4:11 to play. And the Grizzlies up 28-14. They will give to Taggart on a fly sweep right to left. Taggart makes a cut at the 30 and will take it inside to the 27-yard line. Right
What
back
a
to the
great
original
play.
line.
Yeah.
Right back to the original line of scrimmage.
But that's a lot of yardage they just recovered. I mean, literally 18 yards that he picked up, 19 yards even, that Taggart just picked up on that play. And when you're down, down that many yards, you're 29 yards, second and 29.
Yeah.
To have that, I guess 23, the scoreboard says, to have that back at the original line of scrimmage, maybe even 3rd and 9, it's looking like at this point, and making Lakeland burn a timeout.
Yeah, Lakeland takes their first timeout of this second half. 3:53 to play in this opening round 4A postseason matchup. Skyline leading 28-14. Lakeland led by scores of 7-0 after 1, 14-7 at halftime, tied at 14 in the third quarter, and now Skyline has outscored Lakeland 14-0 in this fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, this is, and we talked about this at the halftime show. This literally is whoever shows up in the second half. And tonight, the first half really belonging to Lakeland Hawks, the second half to the Grizzlies. And that's been the difference.
Absolutely. 3:53 to go here in this ball game as Skyline trying to put the finishing touches on. Billie Jean by Michael Jackson playing on the loudspeakers, and Kenyon Sadiq showing off a couple of moves there.
Well, had me up here dancing. Good thing it's not video tonight.
Yeah, nobody needs to see that.
Yeah, you're right. I absolutely agree.
3rd and 9, Hackey, screen pass near side. Sadiq gets a block inside the 10, the 5, into the end zone for a Skyline touchdown.
Wow, what a great job. And that is, guess who threw that block that opened up the touchdown? Silverio. So he's showing his importance not just in carrying but in utility work, as he threw a block that really opened up those last 8 yards for Sadiq to stroll into the end zone and really not challenged even as he goes into the end zone.
So a 26-yard touchdown pass from Hackey to Sadiq. Second time those two have connected tonight. And that kick by DeMont is through. 35-14 Skyline with 3:46 to play. People are going to look at the final score and just say, oh, yeah, Skyline dominated. This was far from that.
Exactly.
Far from that.
That's why you can never look at a score and say, oh, that was a blowout or that was a big win. It's a big win because they win. But absolutely, the result of really 3 plays going the other way, and it's a whole different ballgame. Those turnovers, picks, penalties at the wrong times, everything that worked against Skyline in the first half has worked for them in the second half, as Lakeland has known those struggles. And now Lakeland, you can see their team a little dejected over there. They're not, well, a couple players running now, but most of them kind of jogging or walking as they come back to set up for the kickoff. that you know is going to go into the end zone because DeMott just boots the heck out of everything.
Right, he sure does. So we'll see what Skyline is able to do. 3:46 to play.
Really not enough time for Lakeland to pull this off, 3:46, unless they've got a couple of deep threat throws in their pocket and the ability to get the ball back on an onside kick.
Yeah, it's it is remarkable how quickly this game, it's almost like a tidal wave. It's just kind of come crashing on Lakeland. You know, the Hawks played really well tonight, but in the fourth quarter, it's just one bad thing after another, and now they're down 3 scores with 3:46 to go, and we'll see what Lakeland is able to manufacture here.
Well, it could be not having enough gas in the tank.
Right.
This going both ways that we talked about earlier in the game.
So it'll be 1st and 10.
Lakeland having trouble getting their players on the field.
Suko back to pass, and now Lakeland has to be one-dimensional, taking a shot for Waddington, overthrew him, 2nd down.
I think that's the first pass that I've seen Suko throw that wasn't. He turned his bionics on. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Well beyond his receiver, and that's the first time I've seen him throw it 5 yards deeper than his receiver was. Maybe not made the connection, but he was on with most of his passes. So maybe they're trying to force things a little bit here.
I think so. I mean, you can't get all 21 points on one pass. You just got to do it one play at a time. And Waddington almost makes a one-handed reception across the middle at the 35, but the pass was just a little off, 3rd down.
You know, Waddington, I mentioned that ESPN highlight reel. I think he was trying to audition for it because that big body of his was leaning, and he was trying to bring it in with the one-hand catch. The problem is to get on the highlight reel, you have to actually pull that pass in.
Right. And Waddington's 6'5". He used that entire wingspan to try and get that pass. So.
And then some, I think.
3rd down and 10. Suko, play action, bootleg out, quarterback run, snuffed out of the backfield.
Robinson making the sack there as he came in. I think Robinson's the outside linebacker or the cornerback. I'm not sure. I think corner.
Yeah, Robinson. When they released the All-State teams, in December and Chandler Robinson's going to be on their first team.
Guaranteed.
All-State linebacker, no doubt.
Yeah, that boy, every game I've had, he's been all over the field, and tonight no exception. This second half a little better than the first, but he's there.
4th and 11. Lakeland's got to go for it. Suko's pass on the far sideline for Richie Thomas, too high. They will turn it over on downs to Skyline with 2:58 to play. And the Grizzlies leading 35-14. The ball also is going to be at the 19-yard line of the Hawks.
They had to go for it. They had no choice, but it's painful to turn the ball over when you're down 35-14 and give your opponent the ball at the 19-yard line and the clock.
Yeah, it's just tough. What are you going to do?
You're going to try to go for it. They did. It didn't work to their advantage. So at this point in time, Grizzlies just trying to chip away at the clock. Lakeland trying to figure out a way to make it respectable at least.
Right. Hackey out of the shotgun, fly sweep on the right side. This is Taggart taking it down to the 5, and they'll say he stepped out of bounds back at the 7.
Yep.
So that is a gain of 16, no, not 16.
10, 15, 16, I think
it is 16? Okay, I was trying to do I'm not very good at math, Tim, especially at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, well, that's my problem was I was enjoying the run. Taggart, what a great run. He's showing his athleticism. We haven't seen him making the catches tonight that I expected that we'd see, but certainly having some great reads there as he's been taking those sweeps.
Gain of 8. 19 minus 7 is 8. So I finally figured that out.
Oh, there you go.
Meanwhile, the Lakeland defense has figured out that, hey, this Taggart guy is pretty good. Let's tackle him back at the 10 for a loss of 3.
Do you want to jump out to a couple of our sponsors? Conan Heating and Air. They're your Lennox premier dealer in Idaho Falls. Conan Heating and Air has provided superior HVAC service in Idaho Falls since 1946. That's 75 years. High-quality service. Experienced technicians, no job too big or too small for all your furnace repair needs in Idaho Falls. Trust the job to Conan Heating and Air. Visit them online for more information at www.conanheating.com.
Taggart up the middle for an 11-yard touchdown on the jet sweep. And Skyview has put this game to bed.
You know, you don't want your horses really to pull back. If you're Coach Kiefer, I think he's going to have a few words tonight. As he says, you didn't have to do that score. You could have just, run the clock out. But Skyline figuring out what's working for them as they're now racking up the points.
Well, I don't know. At a certain point,
you just say heck with it, season's over?
Well, no, but like 2:13 to go. PAT is good by DeMott, by the way. 42-14 Skyline. You have to get ready for the next week. Skyline sleptwalked through the first 3 quarters of this game. And now in the fourth quarter, they are finally, this is the Skyline team that we expect to see. And so for Coach Berger and the rest of the Skyline players, they want to keep establishing that momentum, knowing that they're going to have to go on the road next week for a quarterfinal matchup, more than likely.
Yeah.
And for Lakeland, at the end of the day, it's your job to stop the offense.
And that's not going to happen. Just too much offense at the hands of the Skyline Grizzlies tonight. But a good point, a valid point, as really Skyline sleptwalked through the last half of the Skyline Shelley game. So almost a full game that they kind of sleptwalked through. And now it's coming alive. So you're right. I'm the coach. I'm going to give them the keys to the car and say, go for a joyride.
I like that. Keys to the car, go for a joyride. Here is the kickoff by Skyline.
DeMott didn't go into the end zone. That's unusual.
And a nice return, ran into his own guy, stopped all his momentum at the 21-yard line.
If he hadn't run into his guy, he had that corner. That's ouch. Ouch. That hurt because I was getting excited. Going to start yelling here because I thought he was going to get the sideline and maybe have a chance to run it back.
And with 2:05 to play in this ballgame, that was Cody Morse out on the return. 1st and 10 for the Lakeland Hawks.
Well, here we go. Lakeland's they're going to be dropping back, throwing something. 2 minutes left. They really want to get a score to make it not quite as painful. Already painful, I guess. It's just going to be painful. And now they prove me wrong. They're going to take Cornish up the middle. Cornish getting the seam. He's got the sideline. He's going to go all the way down to the 42-yard line before he's bumped out of bounds. You know what? See, if they'd have been doing that all game, all half, you called it, Brandon, when you said he's only had 1 carry, and that really was the difference in the momentum shifting to the Skyline Grizzlies tonight.
Yeah, so another big run for John Cornish. Takes it to the 41-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Lakeland. 1:56 to go. He got out of bounds, which stops the clock as well. Cornish sweeping right, now cutting up the middle, taking it across the 35 down to the 33.
Cornish, I feel bad for the Lakeland Hawks as Cornish is doing what he did the whole first half, just here with a minute 40 left in the game. Why weren't they doing that all game? All half when it's worked.
2nd down and 2 now for the Hawks with 1:25 to play. They will keep it with the quarterback, Suko, to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and into the end zone for a 33-yard touchdown.
That's what they were looking for. Suko, honestly, he faked out everybody. If we'd have had a cameraman, he'd have faked out the cameraman because everybody just caved in on Cornish, making the carry to this bottom of the field, closest to us, and Suko just took it right off where the right tackle had been, and nobody really coming close to him.
33-yard touchdown run for Devin Suko with 1:16 to play.
That fixes his negative yardage for the game.
It sure does.
And 3 touchdowns. All 3 touchdowns.
That's right. All 3 on the ground. Point after is through by Owen Forsman. And now, 42-21, 1:16 to play. It is the playoffs. We'll
onside kick. You got it. Come on. Worst case scenario, you practice this in practice every week because it's always going to be a possibility. So now you're going to see if your kids learned anything, if they can get the execution, and if your kicker can get that darn ball to bounce high enough that you have a chance.
Absolutely.
Always the hardest part of an onside kick is getting the ball to go 10 yards, but to go 10 yards slow enough that your team has a play on it. And that's harder than it probably sounds, because it usually means that the kicker's got to try to somehow bounce it off the turf within 5 yards of where he is, and that's pretty tough to do.
Right. So now, and it is a science, right? It's almost like an art form, trying to get
Guaranteed.
the onside kick.
That's why you want somebody in there who knows how to play soccer as well, because those guys, they can do amazing things with the kicks. I remember I lived in South America for a few years, and first day playing soccer with those folks down there, I didn't even see where the ball was. They were bouncing it off their knees and feet, and I thought I was a good soccer player until that happened. These guys can do amazing things. We'll see if Lakeland can do that.
So we'll see if the Hawks try the onside kick with 1:16 to go, down 3 scores. Crazier things have happened in this game of football. So.
You're not wrong there. Just ask the Firth Cougars and the North Fremont Huskies last week.
It's going to be a pooch kick at the 30. Will be fielded by Skyline's.
It's Galbraith. Nope.
Parker Kuchera out to the 45-yard line. So a little bloop kick right to Kuchera. We'll return it to the 45-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Skyline. And now, with 1:09 left, now you take some knees.
Yeah. At this point in time, it's all over. Painfully so for Lakeland. For all those good fans for the Lakeland Hawks sitting across from us, you kind of feel for them. You hope that there's some way that they can make a fun weekend out of this, because that's an awfully long drive home. I don't think as a player, I never had a 10-hour drive on a bus after a loss. I remember what a 4-hour drive home was like, and it wasn't any fun at all.
So here we go. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Skyline, and they throw a pass to start, although they do have the backups in. So here's my philosophy.
Collins in as the quarterback, not Hackey.
Because this was a topic of discussion in East Idaho this year, right, with Rigby and Idaho Falls. So
absolutely.
If your starters are in, you run the ball or you kneel it, game over. If your backups are in, to me it's fair game, because your backup quarterback needs to learn to work on passing the ball, right? You never know if Lakeland Hackey gets hurt next week.
Exactly.
Your backup QB needs those reps. So
absolutely. I'm all in for that. And frankly, I don't care if you're a backup. For many of these players, this is their first action of the night. And you know what? Don't ask them to pull up. Ask them to do what you've asked them to do all season. And if this is their one shot at glory, give it to them. Now, that's not going to be popular. I know that controversy of which you speak between Rigby and Idaho Falls, where Idaho Falls coach felt like Rigby took it in for a score with his backups, and he just felt that he should have taken a knee and ended the game. And I'm in the other camp. Absolutely, you give your players on the field a shot.
Right.
And if that means you leave your horses in on defense while their second-string offense is in, you do it. They need the experience.
3rd and 1 for the Skyline backups. This is a quarterback keeper for Racer Collins. And Collins,
that's why.
Yeah, right.
If Hackey goes down next week, Collins has demonstrated in a game that means a lot, he can run the ball.
That should be the final play, as we're down to 10 seconds to go. Skyline leading 42-21. And that'll do it. The Skyline Grizzlies, let's be honest, survive in advance.
Yeah, you said it best when you said the score is not going to be representative of the game we called, because halftime I was really worried Skyline just had forgotten to bring their offensive unit, and you look at the score, they pulled 42. Well, there's just 35 points in this half.
Right.
Wouldn't have imagined that.
Yeah, they scored 7 in the first half, 14 more in the third quarter, and 21 in the fourth quarter to win, going away 42-21, the final score. So let's thank a couple more of our sponsors.
Yeah,
Tim.
we're grateful for these folks. It's been such an exciting game. We haven't had a chance to get them all on the air, so we want to recognize them right now. Rockwell Homes in Idaho Falls is Southeast Idaho's #1 home builder. By using local subcontractors and upholding the highest quality standards, Rockwell Homes strives to exceed your expectations to create a unique and innovative home tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Are you ready to start building your dream home? Let Rockwell Homes help design the perfect place for you and your family to call home. To see available homes, floor plans, and other great information, go online, rockwellhomes.net. The Johnson family wishes great success to all area athletes. Tonight, the Skyline Grizzlies getting the advantage there. C&B Operations, John Deere, for all your commercial John Deere new and used agriculture equipment, choose C&B Operations. They're East Idaho's premier John Deere dealership. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge Street in Blackfoot. For all your equipment needs, or visit them online at deerequipment.com. Sorry, tried to put an extra E in there.
That's all right.
C&B Operations in Blackfoot is a proud supporter of the student athletes and wants to wish them all good luck tonight. And that's our commercial sponsors. We're grateful for them. Folks there who help bring this broadcast to you free. They keep Brandon eating the Cheerios and ramen noodles, right?
Cheerios? Where'd you get that?
I don't know. Inexpensive, because we know what they pay.
Right. I'm a low-maintenance kind of guy. So, Skyline wins 42-21 the final over Lakeland. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll come back with the post-game show where we will hand out our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game Award as well. So keep it right here. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School Football postseason on IdahoSports.com.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938. Insured by NCUA.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Searching for a friendly, experienced insurance agency? Then look no further than Alta Insurance. Alta Insurance provides policies that are personalized to each client's needs by offering a wide range of products and companies to take care of your assets. Let one of our friendly and experienced agents take the time to sit down with you and understand your needs. Call or stop in today with offices in Idaho Falls and Twin Falls. Alta Insurance. It's not just about insurance.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Athletes know how important it is to stay hydrated. But did you know there are other ways to hydrate besides just drinking water? In fact, milk is a great hydration option because it actually contains water as well as electrolytes that are lost when your body sweats. So consider taking milk along with you to your next game or competition and enjoy the taste of greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
You train, you sweat, you practice, you go for the gold, you give 110%, but most of all, you aim for greatness. And milk is the performance enhancer that can help get you to your goal. Trusted by athletes and backed by science, there's a healthy helping of greatness in every refreshing glass of milk. So let nature's original sports drink help quench your thirst for greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Welcome into the IdahoSports.com post-game show one last time from Holt Arena in Pocatello. Brandon Maney alongside Tim Belknap, where our final score tonight in the 4A opening round, the 6th-seeded Skyline Grizzlies rally late to knock out the 11th-seeded Lakeland Hawks 42-21. This was a game that Lakeland led at the end of the first quarter, 7-0. Led at halftime 14-7. This game was tied after 3, 14-14, and then the avalanche came in the fourth quarter for Skyline.
What a great word, avalanche. That's literally what it was, because frankly, with 10 minutes left in this game, still anybody's game.
Yeah.
And Skyline, just honestly, I think we talked about it in the off air. Farnsworth's pick just really changed the momentum of this whole game, because up until then, Skyline did have a 1-touchdown lead, but Lakeland was driving, and Farnsworth with that pick just put Lakeland back on their heels, and they really never recovered from that.
Yeah, it was just one bad thing led to another, and for Lakeland, it just kind of spun out of control there. So let's give out our IdahoSports.com player of the game. This was really hard tonight. We had a lot of good candidates. So we got like a bronze, a silver, and then we'll hand out the gold. Sound good, Tim?
Yeah, I'm gonna. You want me to do the bronze and silver? Let you do the gold.
Let's flip it. I'll do the bronze and silver. You can do the gold. So our bronze, we're gonna give to Kenyon Sadiq on offense tonight. He had 2 touchdown receptions. He also had the 1-yard touchdown run, and time and again on offense when Skyline needed a play, Sadiq was the guy they were going to, and more often than not, he delivered. Sometimes in double coverage, sometimes taking the ball away from the defender, right?
Yeah, he really earned his keep tonight. He's shown, just literally as a receiver.
Absolutely, and this was, despite what the final score says, 42-21, this really was a defensive game for all intents and purposes until about 10 minutes left. And so keeping with the theme of defense, our silver medal is going to go to Johnny Basic, the senior defensive lineman who had a couple of sacks tonight, a couple of tackles for loss. He was in on the action early and often for Skyline tonight as John Cornish.
He forced some hurried passes.
Yes.
He really did a great job tonight.
And in that second half, John Cornish never really could get going for Lakeland, and part of that was Basic on that defensive line. So the gold, our actual IdahoSports.com player of the game, Tim, goes to?
Well, I just don't know who to call. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Folks, no one other than the Joker can get this. He broke the back of Lakeland, as he made that interception. He was all over the field, all through the game. I mean, it's not just that pick. We were calling his name a lot. But we have to give it to the Joker, Farnsworth. He has to be our IdahoSports.com player of the game. He wins the gold medal tonight.
Isaac Farnsworth, they call him Joker, and he had a fumble recovery in the first half. He had that 20-yard pick six that really swung the game into Skyline's momentum. So 2 takeaways tonight, and Skyline as a team ended up with 4 takeaways as a defensive unit. Lakeland had 4 takeaways also, so a lot of turnovers tonight.
I can say not very many games where you see 4 turnovers on each side of the field, and see the score being what it is. That's what really surprises me. You would expect 4 turnovers. You're going to see maybe a 21-21 game, something like that. 21-20, maybe somebody misses an extra point. Certainly not a 42-14 game.
Definitely not. So Lakeland wraps up their season with a 5-5 overall mark. They're going to stay here in Pocatello tonight and then make that long bus ride back home up north tomorrow, and nothing to be ashamed of for Lakeland. They played well for really 3.5 quarters, and then the wheels just kind of fell off. And so Lakeland finishes 5-5. Skyline improves to 6-4, and now they will advance to the quarterfinal round where they will play the winner of Valley View and Minico. That is a 14 versus 3 matchup. That's a game that we will have live video coverage of tomorrow night on IdahoSports.com. So I'm sure all the Skyline fans are going to tune in.
They better.
Yeah, find out who they're playing next week.
And that'll be a good call. The good game. It's one you want to tune into. I don't care who you're rooting for. That'll be a game you want to see Minico, because Minico is going to be making their presence known throughout this tournament, I believe.
Absolutely. They're the only undefeated team in the field, and they're the number 3 seed overall. So Mike Christensen, Carter Christensen on the call for that game. Tim, you're going to be in Shelley tomorrow night for more video coverage. The ninth seeded Preston against 8th seeded Shelley, 7 o'clock kickoff. That should be a good one, too.
And honestly, Shelley played Preston earlier this year. They got the win, but Preston coming alive a little bit more towards the end of the season. Alive, I'm not saying spectacular, but certainly coming alive. And Shelley struggling a little bit, had a couple losses. They lost to a winless Bonneville team that is probably better than the record sounds, right, as the Preps ranking would show. And I think it's going to be a dogfight.
Absolutely. That's going to be a good old-fashioned slobber knocker there between the Indians and the Russets. And then I will be here in Holt Arena again tomorrow night for a doubleheader. First up is a 5A first-round playoff game, Skyview taking on Highland. And then the second matchup will be another 4A battle as your Bonneville Bees will take on the Pocatello Thunder, the number 2 seed overall. So
that's going to be an interesting game because Pocatello is having a great year.
Yep.
And showing some good football. And Bonneville started off tough. They've had some tough years at Bonneville. Coach Kemp done a great job, really, in changing the momentum, changing the feel of sports in the football program at Bonneville. His Bees reflecting only 2 wins on the season. So you look at it and say, well, Pocatello's going to eat them alive. But I think it's the playoffs. I know they're jazzed, and I know their motto going into this game is rock the state.
Well, they
or is it shock the state? Maybe it's shock.
Yeah, shock the state. Well, they certainly would if they could come through against Pocatello. So, hey, we've got a lot of games on the broadcast schedule tomorrow and Saturday. Easiest way to find out where we're going to be at is to go to the Game Streams tab on the IdahoSports.com homepage. You'll see the entire schedule of games that we have planned. We got a bunch of them tomorrow from one end of the state to the other and all the way up north to Sandpoint. So check that out at IdahoSports.com. And also we'll be updating those football brackets. State volleyball starts tomorrow. We'll be updating those volleyball brackets as well. So really just make IdahoSports.com your homepage and dust your hands off and call it a day.
You know, it's we're busy enough as broadcasters trying to keep you guys updated on all the other, on a Friday night at least, all the other pertinent games. And we throw volleyball, state volleyball in there. And you know what else is going on is state cross country.
Yes.
Folks, I'm just not sure we're going to have enough time.
Unless we can find out how to clone ourselves, but we'll do our best. So, all right, for Tim Belknap, I'm Brandon Baney. Thank you for tuning in to this IdahoSports.com Game Streams production of the 2021 Idaho State Football Tournament. Tournament coverage presented by the Idaho Division of Public Health, your local Toyota dealer, Valleywide Co-op and Country Stores, and Project Filter. Stop smoking, start living. We'd also like to thank all of our local advertisers tonight, Tim, and...
there's a bunch of them.
I
recycled them already, so let me reach into the recycling bin.
I should have told you this was coming.
And I should have known. Shame on me. They include Knutson Chevrolet in Lakeland, and in Idaho Falls, it's Rockwell Homes, MVP Rentals, Teton Auto Group, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, All Things Automotive, and Conan Heating and Air, and our commercial sponsors, Thompson Holman Weiler, Conan Heating and Air, Super One Foods in Lakeland, Rockwell Homes C&B Operations, and that's it. That's all of them. We're grateful to them for all of their recognition and support of high school athletics.
That's right. These broadcasts wouldn't be possible without all of our fine sponsors. The Skyline Grizzlies win 42-21 over Lakeland. Congratulations to Isaac Joker Farnsworth, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. For Tim Belknap, I'm Brandon Baney. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening on IdahoSports.com.